Doing? How you feeling on this Wednesday, 11/18? Hope everyone's having a wonderful day, doing well. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Hope you were taking care of yourself. Hope you drank some water. Yeah, everything's all right. Shout out to everyone in my Telegram group. Shout out to everyone keeping me going. Shout out to everyone on the live stream right now. Please hit the like button. Let's get rocking. I need your energy. You need my energy. Let's just vibe with the vibrations. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Anyway, the elephant in the room. Little Bitcoin. The little Bitcoin. Don't get me started on CVC, but it may be time to enter at one point. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later on in the videos. I used to live in New York. I never really picked up the New York accent 100%. Okay, so check it out. Bitcoin, first pretty red candle. It's going to happen in the 4 hours. You can see that we're oversold. And the MACD is curving. Last time we had that happen, Bitcoin went from 15,797, even on a wick actually, 15,99, all the way down to 14,2. $1,700 move, but really didn't do much to the prices. It kept continuing through the Bollinger Bands. This is as wide as they got. They're really wide at this point. So just a suggestion how wide these Bollinger Bands. Now when the Bollinger Bands are tight, you're about to have a breakout. When the Bollinger Bands are wide, gives you some room for falling down, right? So is Bitcoin going to turn on us? Now I keep checking the daily. Hold on one second. This ain't right. This ain't right. Something is not right. It's not right. I gotta check this every morning. Make sure it's right. Make sure it's perfect. Okay, there we go. There we go. Makes sense. Now, see how the MACD is still turning up? Hasn't decided to turn down. Now, until this turns, we are getting a little more. First, it was more straight. We are getting a little bit of a turn. I'm going to wait and watch this trajectory, but this is the daily. And, you know, how much higher can you go? Now, if you compare that to the rally of 2017, we can go much higher. We can go much higher. Excuse me, I was up all night. Didn't sleep. Anyway, we can go much higher. So we could easily see the MACD extend itself. But is this the rally? You know, this is what's the problem is. Everyone's in disbelief as if this is the real rally. We're not in disbelief, but let's look at this. Everyone's probably seen this before. It's the old Wall Street cheat sheet. Oh, these are pretty cool. That sucked to change. I saw like a bunch of cool. Oh, Pinterest is pretty cool, huh? I never really spent time here. Bullish, bearish, star, bullish, star, bearish. Okay. Doji star, bullish, doji star, bearish. Tasuki gap, bullish, Tasuki gap, bearish. So when you have the gap in the middle there, I'm guessing. Advanced block, bullish, advanced block, bearish. Interesting. Some candlestick patterns. Block you. Anyway, let's click what I wanted to click on. And that's the Wall Street cheat sheet here. Let me bring this over. Now, here's the Wall Street cheat sheet. The feelings appearing as market fluctuates, right? So you have happy, a recovery is possible. Disbelief, this rally will fail like the others, and it comes up. Happy, a new recovery is possible, right? And I think we know a new recovery is possible. We're coming into all-time highs. I think we're even a little bit above that, but we'll move up. Optimism, this is a real rally, is real. I feel like we're like somewhere right in here. In between hope, a recovery is possible, and optimism, this rally is real. I think, see that downward, I think we're about to get this big correction here. Belief, time to get fully invested. Thrill, I will buy more on margin. Gotta tell everyone to buy. Euphoria, I am a genius. We're all going to be rich. Complacency, we just need to cool off for the next rally. And you tell yourself, I'm going to hold. Anxiety, why am I getting margin calls? This dip is taking longer than expected. Denial, my investments are with great companies. They will come back. Shit, everyone is selling. I need to get out. I'm getting 100% out of the markets. I can't afford to lose more. Anger, who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? And then depression, my retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I am an idiot. And then into the next rally. This is a sucker's rally. And you end back in here. Basically, the disbelief, right? Simplified market cycles. Peak, point of the maximum financial risk. Trough, this is the trough, point of financial opportunity, maximum opportunity, recovery, and prosperity. So basically buying the dip for Bitcoin was the move, honestly, as much as you could. As much as you could. So cool. Amazing day yesterday. Let me turn that Discord up. I don't use Discord as much as I should. Honestly, there's just so much going on lately. It's like Discord, Telegram. Eventually, I just pick one, because how are you going to be able to, like, I don't know. Maybe you guys can do it. I need to be more focused with it, but there's just too many things going on. So it's hard, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm waiting. Ja brings joy in the morning. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. What is up? What's up, Crypto Damon? Crypto24, good morning, man. How you feeling? Love learning. Morning, Salmon fam. How's everything? Colin Unger, FOMO. I had a limit order to buy in at 70,200, and overnight, I came within 15 of that. Yeah, I saw it. I was up. I never went to bed. I watched Bitcoin. We live streamed. You may have missed it. Caught that dip. It went down to 17.21 that I saw, but you're probably right. You might have looked at it a little closer than me. Excellent. Excellent, though. I kicked out of a few things at break even, but for the most part, things went well, right? Interesting. Definitely made a smart trade yesterday, and I don't see it, which is kind of, well, I'll deal with that at another time. Anyway, let's get into Bitcoin and see what's going on. What is the play for the day? Let's find out. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. So Bitcoin doing well. We looked at it. Could still continue up on the daily, which is, I can't believe I'm saying that. But it could. 3 days, so spent. Weekly is going to start having a pullback soon. And then when the weekly has a pullback, like here, I thought we were going to have a pretty big pullback. It's going to be pretty massive. If the last time we had a pullback was here, and you could only imagine, right? Then we had our pullback here, all the way from 14K. I think we had 13.99, 13.8. People go back and forth over that. And then we went down to 36. That was the manipulation. We could say, the pandemic. We could say we got as low here as 68. I don't think we were supposed to go this low, honestly. I think this was the bottom. Supposed to be a new top. We were supposed to be even higher than we are now. I think we would have already broken all-time highs if it wasn't for the pandemic. I think it reset Bitcoin back like 6 months. It overshadowed the halving, to be honest, and created a, like we had our halving that was so amazing. We were all looking forward to it. So intense, so beautiful. And then we had this like world massive pandemic issue, I just thought it was pretty strange. I'm going to big myself up a little bit. Why not, right? Damn, man, it's bright. I'm going to have to get some shades there. I keep saying that, but I do love the sun. Love the sun in the morning. Anything I can make it feel as close to the summertime in the winter. I mean, now we had that crazy action, which gives us a diamond pattern almost, right? So let's build the idea. Something like this. Might have to go wider actually, right? Could be something like that. Now, trickle back up and then we're out of this pattern. So diamonds go in the way they came out. If it came out from the bottom, it usually leaves from the bottom. So just heed my warning there. Are we going to come out of the diamond pattern something silly like this? Also would form a bit of a BART, bring us back down to 16.4. Even if we hit this level, you know, 16.5 too. So I could easily see us falling down there, extending more red on the histogram on the 1 hour. 4 hour has to start kind of turning down. We'll see what happens. It could flip up. It's kind of sitting in the sidelines right now. I think we should have had a bigger move down. This should really have continued. See the sharp decline here from this tall histogram to this pink one. It's pretty strange. I don't see that a lot too. And it tells me there was an adjusted move there. Something funny going on. Let's look at dominance, because dominance is really getting high. It broke out of this wedge like I showed you guys. You know, we hope it gets rejected where it's at, but we don't know. You know, it looks like it could be pumping with Bitcoin. So watch your altcoins. Morning Lifer, this is my first time watching. I finally found your live stream. Yay. Thank you so much, Kelly. Really appreciate it. Nice to see you here. Yeah, I see you talking in the Crypto Cartel, I think it is, or Crypto. Yeah, you're with Who Knew and the boys. I know you, Kelly. You seem to be on your game. I've watched some of. I read a lot of comments. I lurk in a lot of rooms. So I know who a lot of you people are in many of these Telegram rooms. Have kind of a photographic memory too. So once I see your name once, I remember it. It's kind of weird, but that's how it happens. So shout out to you, Kelly. But I got a gist of who you are. Very nice person. Always very bubbly, happy whenever you're up in the Telegram group. NIO is showing a bit of a double top now, right? You can also see bearish divergence forming. Swing up to swing up. Swing low to swing low. So just, I'm passing by. We're not going to deep dive it pretty much, but, you know, just giving you an indication that, hey, you might want to get out of NIO and reposition yourself. See what this pattern does. Basically, just draw a pattern. This is what I do. Right when I see the idea of a bull flag, I begin drawing it. Now, we don't know if it's like this or it's going to be more of a flag like this. We're not sure yet. But what we do is we just kind of get it ready. Watch the price action fill it. I even sometimes try to judge how good I can be at figuring it out, and then I watch it. It's kind of fun for me. A little game. Anyway, you got to make it interesting if you're doing it every day, in my opinion. Ocean. I really like Ocean. Okay. Let's look at Ocean now. Going to roll over in the 4 hour. Now, a lot of these coins had their 4 hour move. So that also worries me that we may have a larger pullback coming, right? So dominance. Sorry, I'm a little tired today, so I'm like bouncing around. Dominance now at 67.29. Okay. Wants to roll over on this on the 2 hour. We want to see a curve here, but you know, it's oversold. We want to see this get rejected and start coming down. You know, it looks like it's going to move down with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin moves down, dominance is going to move down, right? So I have Bitcoin now in this diamond pattern, and you can see, we'll just watch it here. A good place to check it out is on the 1 minute. Looks far more valid on the 1 minute, right? It looks beautiful now. Of an official diamond pattern. In from the top, in from the bottom, out from the bottom. We should usually bounce off this here though and wiggle our way back in. That also could become bullish, you know, or bearish. So we got to see what happens with Bitcoin. This is actually a crucial place right here. This trend line that we just drew. We could use this as some a line that we could say Bitcoin needs to hold. It's starting to fall from it already. If we zoom in, and there we see what we don't like is a wick down. That's kind of like a wick up, right? This tells you that that's not good. That's sell pressure, heavy sell pressure. Almost like they use this as, you know, how you use a retest. This is a bearish retest. Fell out, comes back top, throws back down. We are about to get oversold now. So I'm going to watch this. And hold on. I may be opening a leverage trade right now because that's what I do whenever I see it this low. So let's check this out. Give me a second here to log in to my futures account. So yeah, we just hit a perfect spot here to get into a long for the day, in my opinion. I'll explain why in a second too. Crypto Don Juan, you see this? You see this for a long? No? Not calling it. I like it though. Looks legit to me. I may miss it though while I'm trying to get in. You have like a small window to catch these. That's for me because like I have to do it perfectly, and if I don't, then it's just that doesn't work. See, I just missed it. I just missed it. But let's open up the futures trade. See what we can do for you guys. Need to see them both at the same time. But to me, that's a nice long right down there. Oof. I would have liked to have gotten the wick. So we're going to go with it all. 17,730. Take profit. I'd like to go back to 18,175. My stop loss, I say 17,250 because if we come back there again, I think that's going to be a wrap, right? We're going to go with 16x leverage on this, and we're going to bring up the size to 100%. 16.8. Let me take a look at the chart right now. So now you want to wait for hidden bullish divergence. So it's good that I didn't get it yet. We want to wait for the hidden bullish divergence. So it's about to happen. So I'm showing you how to basically open a scalp or a futures trade. Watch this keep coming down here on the 1 minute. But as you can see, the second we broke out of the pattern, see the diamond pattern let me know that we should be coming down. Now, will we break back up into the pattern? It's possible. I want to see what happens on this RSI here. Fighting. 17 even. Hand on the pulse here. I want 17,680. Still not done yet. 17,680. Looks pretty good to me though. This could keep coming down though. We want to wait for the divergence if we can, which is a swing low up here and a swing low up here connecting on the RSI. So I'm waiting for my entry patiently now. This is good though. This is what we want. Come on. 16.7. So what I do is I'm right here and I have my futures windows open and I'm about to put the price in. Everything else is set up for me. Just got to put the price in. Looks like we got a wick in there. Curved up on the RSI. Not completely sold yet because we don't have the divergence. So I'm waiting on the divergence. What is divergence? Divergence would usually you get a second hill. See, I'll show you right here is a great place. Swing down to swing down. And you have swing up to swing up. And this is where you want to get in right here. I'm looking for something similar to that. You can almost say that's going to be the divergence. Sometimes it's very small like this. So this is like divergence voodoo. Keep moving this and working with it. Looks like 17.7 will be the entry though. Pretty dang close. Looks like I'm going to be happy with that. I want to see that candle close on divergence. We could have gotten lower at 7.624. That was really the plan. It moved fast on us. $17,690. Trying to wait for the confirmed divergence. Yes, come lower. Come lower. Usually it will come lower on the second ring. And I'll be able to get it like right even down here. Should come a little lower. 17,666. See? 17,653. Keep coming. This will confirm the bullish divergence. Keep coming. That's it right there, in my opinion. 680, right? 680, 675. Now we're back to 66. Come on. And we're going to watch this line here curve. See, we're watching this little tiny line on the RSI. Move this up a little bit for you guys. And sorry. We're watching this line here, and I'm playing with it. And now, see, now you're getting lower. See, now there was no divergence because you're lower than that one. And that's, so I didn't enter the trade. Just didn't show like it was time to enter. Here could be the dump. Starting to dump. Pretty bad. I still think there's going to be an entry here. People keep trying to get in and get out. So the shorts and they're battling right now. They're battling it out. It's almost slight. You know, that is still a secret divergence because this is such a sharp line down and this is much flatter. So I can almost take this 633, 620, 16. So now it's short city 584. This is a bit of a dump. We're watching a dump occur immediately as the morning begins right at 10:05. People just start dumping Bitcoin, huh? 595. Getting very oversold though. Soon is going to be a really good entry on this futures trade. I feel like we're going to nail it. Just keep letting it do its thing. 597, 622. It came back already. I'm not convinced. Right? This is one of the lowest we've gone in a long while on the RSI in the 1 minute. So looks like it wants more. 590. Change my position to a 5 here. Waiting to get in, but you know what? Can't place it yet. This is definitely an extended flood out. Now it could be the beginning. Look, is my diamond pattern's falling out. So I kind of made this call for you guys. Got you right into what was happening and kind of got you involved right now. We're seeing the spike back up to 626. So is that the buy? Wow. That's how fast it recovered. I'm still not sold on it. I'm still not sold. I'd like to see hidden bullish divergence. I'd like to see this start to make its way up out of the doldrums. I'm not going to buy yet. Not going to buy yet. I don't know. 17,626 now. $640. That I'm kind of happy with this. Finally getting our curve up and a curve on the MACD. I'm going to take that at 660. 660 if I can get it. I'm going to throw a long in there. Order rejected. 17. 645. 100% on the levy. 16x. Order rejected. Oh, we're going down more. There's our bullish divergence though. Swing up. There's going to be our bullish divergence. Come on. If this can get a higher low on the RSI, that's what we want. MACD turned. See how this is a pretty hard fake out here. You got to really, it's all about patience and just letting the chart tell you what's going to happen. You know, once I get into this, we'll get into the rest of the morning. I'm just trying to see if we can nail this. Probably put a buy order at 17.3. See if you get it. No, wicked. Yeah, no, it doesn't really happen when you're like right here though. At this point, you know, we're on a diamond pattern, so it says more is coming. We should dump all the way down to like 16, 15, you know, maybe even 14. I mean, You can see there's a huge dump coming. We were so high. So high. But you never know. Bitcoin could continue its move up. This is a small dip if you really think about it. If you really think about what's going on. See, I'm happy there. There is the divergence. That's a swing up. And that's a swing down. And that gives me my indication to get into the trade. So I'm going to long it right now with 16x leverage at 620. 597. Different numbers going on here. Maybe even 613. No, 620. If I'm lucky enough to get it. Just, it's tough. It's like every time you change the number, the order moves on you. Okay, so we got in. See what goes on with the levy trade. Play this here. This bottom out. Basically 17, 6,200. 17,600. We'll let it just ride. Sam, you look nervous. This is great, thanks. All right, so just check it out. It's plummeting. This is great, thanks. Yeah, shaking my head. Good morning, all. Yep. Got a buy under at 7,300. See if you get it. Fellas, what's up, Hadouken? I should have sold. Always sell. Thanks, Bitcoin Mama in Moon's group with Moon and Jesse. Thanks. Yeah, Bitcoin Mama in Moon's group. Yep. Yeah, Jose, man. Yep. Dude is amazing. What's the flavor today? I was sleeping. Shout out to Colin Unger, Bagwell33, Crypto Gun, Love Learning, Crypto Don Juan, Crypto24, Bagwell, up you guys up there, Jesse B, Jordan Gecko, Hadouken, Marafro, everyone in there. Really appreciate you coming into the stream today. Hope you're having a great day. So there is also your bullish divergence now. You're getting higher on the RSI while the price comes down a little bit. Basically giving you an indication that we should get a bounce here. And basically back up at least 17.8. I'm saying usually it comes back up to the pattern. So we should get the bounce back up to 17.8. It will then get a bearish retest, but that's basically your time to get in and to get out of the trade. So see how it works. See if we make it happen. Anyway, let's look at the other altcoins. Now, altcoins, like, it was kind of interesting yesterday. I had a really good day, but then I realized it wasn't that easy to have a good day. Now, the couple days before that, I had made a bunch of altcoin buys looking at the 4 hour. Like, I'll show you, like, kind of like band. See how band looked. A lot of ascending triangles too for the altcoins. So they were in like these very, very bullish patterns. If we look at the 4 hour on band, just take a look. I don't know why the Bollinger Bands just like kind of throw me off. I got to take them off unless I'm using them like at that moment. I just hit the eye. They just throw me off. I can't explain it. Now, wow, band would spike all the way up to 695 last night. After, or no, in that big pumpage. It would get all the way up here, get wicked down, get wicked all the way back up. The manipulation was a bit crazy last night. With these people trying to short band, getting sent down. When you see a wick that big, though, to me that represents a lot of sell pressure, kind of telling me that bands wants to go further down. It did roll over on the 4 hour, right? But what I saw was before I was right here. And things were moving up, things were looking good, and it was like, okay, band's going to do its thing, you know? So I just had an idea that we would play band in this bull flag and it would break out up to 723. Not the case so far. Having a bit of a struggle in a lot of chop. It did bounce off its previous bottom here though, you know, at $3, $3.76. So band doing well in the last week or two, but the altcoins are just hard to trade at the moment. They're in some chop. You got Bitcoin dominance doing something. You have a lot of different things going on that's going to affect the price. Right? This could become the big dump, man. I mean, at the same time, you have to just look at the overall time frames. The daily tells you that it's time to go. I've been saying it every day on the channel, like over and over again. If you watched our channel, Every day I tell you that I think, you know, this rally is a little bit extended, right? I'm telling you, you want to wait and see this, but when this starts to curve, 12 hours starting to make a curve, so that tells you something. And you just go through the time frames. 8 hour wants to curve. Now 6 hours curving down, right? 4 hours curving down. It's kind of tell you that, like, and then the 1 hour, the 2 hours already crossed. 1 hour's already had a fall off. So that's what I see happening, is that V-shaped recovery on the 1 hour eventually will get brought out of this, and we could see us make our way out. I'm not too bearish yet, honestly. Your voice message came in right at the time when I was selling at 6.8. What did the voice message say? To sell? Or to be careful or something? Or Bitcoin looks bearish, but alts are starting to turn bullish. There's a lot of bullish divergences on the day charts for altcoins from what I'm seeing. I believe that too. Cryptoholics Anonymous. What's up, guys? Mad shout out to the lifer and his work with Jesse Jungle. That guy is going to be a beast. If you need to learn foolproof bullish patterns and trading in general, try and get some one-on-one time with the lifer. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That was very nice of you to say. For you to come out here and write that. Yeah, because Jesse's in other groups now and he's killing it. And he claimed to me that he didn't know how to. He was having issues when I met him like a month ago. But the guy's like, he's got it. The guy's got it. So I mean, I see him flying around. He's jumping into the right coins. He's at the right time. He's taking profits. I think he had it. He just needed someone to, like, just click it. Just click it, you know? And I think that's kind of what I do. I look at someone. I go over your portfolio for you. We kind of work with you together. I see where you're at. And boom, you know? So, and Jesse's now an asset. That's what happens. Usually once I tutor somebody, they become an asset. And I'm not saying they weren't an asset before, but I just go over everything I want them to know to make sure that they're on point. I'm highly detailed, so I think I can point out some other details that maybe not every trading mentor will show you, and I think it can kind of spark your interest, get you going. So that's the kind of the idea. Hadouken, you're on point. I'm just walking with giants. I look up to y'all. Hilarious. Humble pie all day, man. Eating that humble pie, right? Just eating it right up. I love it. It's the Patriots way. Now look at the full bullish divergence now. This is going to tell you it's time to get into the trade. Really nice entry here at 520. Wish I had laddered in a little bit, but this is your entry now on the bullish divergence. We're definitely going to get a resurgence and a break back up. So you can use a futures trade right now. Perfect entry. Really not even scary. And in my opinion, this is going to be your entry here at 17,494 due to the bullish divergence. But that's what I'm thinking. Now, is the Dow dumping? I'd like to see that just to get an idea of what's going on in the general markets. Let's take a look at the Gus funds. And so you get your wick up now, oversold bounce, multiple divergences kind of playing out there at this point. The Dow up 76 points. What do we see happening in the next minute or two? Well, the Dow is forming a bit of a bull flag. It is dumping too, though, just like Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the dollar index. We're going to find out what is going on in the markets today. Any sentiment here? 29. We hit an all-time high. No, we did not. I would say we double topped yet again there. Wow, look at those strange candles. Insane with the gap down. I entered Isaiah stock this morning. Let's see how it plays. You entered that play that we went over. Interesting. Very interesting. So 17.5 could be your play right now for Bitcoin. The Dow still, I want to see it hold this bottom trend line here, but it looks like it's going to dump a little bit on the 1 minute. 1 hour is looking pretty healthy. Wants to cross up. So we could see an all-time high today, in my opinion. This is a bull flag for the Dow, and we have the pink with the blue line curving. Tells me that we're going to have a pretty big day for the Dow, right? In my opinion. 4 hour, kind of spent though. So maybe today we go up a little bit. Towards the end of the day, it looks like we may roll over because the 4 hour says enough is enough. 4 hours kind of similar. Everyone say we decoupled from the Dow, but now they're kind of locked in again. If I bring you this on the 4 hour on Bitcoin and then I show you the 4 hour on the Dow, they're pretty much the same. So I really want the decoupling. I'm the first one to admit that we aren't decoupled fully. We need to be, but we're not. Double bottom here forming on the dollar index. Not really what I want to see, especially on the 4 hour. That's strong and looks like it's going to come up. So you have Bitcoin taking a dump. You have the dollar index about to make a move. That kind of tells me that it may be time to kind of let Bitcoin rest for a little bit. 17.5 sell may be a good idea, right? I don't want to tell you guys what to do. I did caution to sell numerous times yesterday. I didn't sell, I'll be honest. I kind of got cold feet last night. When it came back to 18,150 at 4 in the morning, that's when I decided I think I should have sold. And then I was just like exhausted and wasn't sure if the move was right at the time. Thank you so much for my vitamin D3 and my lemon water. Start my morning. I drank it too fast and I got that pain. Oh. It's like you bring an air bubble down inside of the water. Ow. That hurt. So Dump City Live, man. Wasn't the time to open the trade. May close the trade on that limit. Market sell, dude. Market sell. So you got to go to the 1 minute now. So only thing is we're seeing that the dollar index looks like it wants to jump. So the dollar wants to make a move. It's been down for a while, so it's going to jump up here and there on its way down to the dumps. It's never going to go down all the way. Nothing goes up all the way, right? Let's check out Bitcoin now. Wow, in the threes now. So this is becoming a really big dump. 1 minute dump, hanging out, oversold. Most oversold we ever seen. So really faking people out here. Eventually it's going to pop, though, I'm telling you. It's going to pop hard. I'll leave Bitcoin alone for the day, looking into sun hydrogen stock. It's a good idea, man. It's a good idea. Play some stock market stuff, you know? Wow, look at Bitcoin. 469. There's your pump. There's your pump, or are we trying to fake us out? Come on, MACD. Got to turn up. No, it doesn't want to. Look. Basically, we're not going to get a bounce until we see this blue line curve up. That's what we're waiting on. If it doesn't happen, we're going to continue down. That's why some people say, oh, the 1 minute means nothing. Like, what do you mean? We're watching this play out in the 1 minute, and the 1 minute's going to tell us when it's over. 1 minute's going to tell us at least when the bleeding stops, somewhat, you know? All the stops are getting hit right now. So it's just an algorithm. People are selling off, panic selling, panic selling. It's a panic sell. I did tell you, though, that we were in a diamond pattern, and that if they come in from the bottom, that they break out to the bottom. So it's all about just establishing the pattern and then, you know, playing what percentages that they break out or they don't break out, right? This pattern breaks down 68% of the time. So it's basically pretty simple math, right? You memorize your patterns, you draw them, and then you play them the way they're supposed to be played. You don't go against the grain. Can you check sun hydrogen if you get a minute, please? Yeah. Possibly. 7,394. I think it has potential. Okay. We'll check it out. This guy usually has some really good picks too, so he's made some amazing calls. So if he wants me to go over, it's probably going to be a pretty good call. Wow, so we started at 17,777 all the way back down to 17,351. I think this is the dump, man. This begins the dump back down to like 13, 14. I think it would be time to just kind of cool off on altcoins positions because I think they're going to get pulled down. You're going to see a pretty red day at this point. I'd wait for this one V-shaped recovery, maybe on the 1 minute for Bitcoin. You might get a little bit of a move. Atom breakout? Are you serious? Are you playing games? Breakout? You mean a breakdown? You mean a breakdown? What's up, Rosh? You said atom breakout. I have no idea what you're saying, man, because I don't see a breakout anywhere. I see a fall to the ground. I see a tank out. So here's the collapse, man. This is it. Everyone's going to run in and just sell. Everyone's going to panic sell, you know. I went in too early into the leverage trade, only down $30. Not a big deal. I didn't risk a lot. I'm just still learning on that. Morning, gang. What's going on, man? Wow, what a crazy dip. Yeah, I mean, this was obviously going to happen. Come on, man. Like, we need to be oversold at one point, and then we're going to bounce back up. Come on. We're going to get back up. I think to 17,600, something like that. Fast recovery. See, there's the V-shaped recovery. Come on, baby. Got to see this blue line curve, though. It refuses. The longs come in, but I think it's just too many people now like that didn't sell here. They're like, oh, I should sell. We got to see this blue line get strong right here. Starting to get stronger on the curve. You think people are going to sit in fiat? Yeah, well, what you can do is, what's easy is you go to the tether dominance. This is a great question you just asked, right? And I can give you how to answer it. See, what I want to do is empower you guys to answer the questions for yourselves that you ask me. A lot of times I'll see someone that I've been tutoring and then they'll ask me a question and I'm like, they should know the answer to that. And I call them out on it. I say, I've pointed this out to you numerous times. I'm wondering why. And then I say, maybe it's a communication issue. Maybe you're just not listening. Like, you know, I don't blame them on being lazy. Like, maybe there's just something going on where they're not fully connected, right? So Wi-Fi had a bit of a dump too, from 2,400 all the way back down to 21.7, trying to make a big pump up. So this is taking down the whole market a little bit. See, we're going to have a little tough time here. Now, what worries me is that there's way more downside for Bitcoin. So if we're going to have a dip, the dip would have been smaller, you know, and we would have bounced back up by now. This is what I was saying with the rally. And this is why I knew that the rally wasn't over yet, because every time we had a dip, we didn't have a dip like this. It started, but it wouldn't, and I was waiting for a dip just like this because I'm used to seeing these. This is what I'm used to seeing. And when we didn't see it, okay, so there's our bounce off the oversold region now. We didn't even get bullish divergence. It just got worse and worse till we finally bounced out. And that would have been your entry right there on a leverage trade, 17,286. If we were more patient, we would have nailed it. And now you're seeing Bitcoin all the way back up pretty fast to 17.5. And you could see it all the way get back to 18K. This could have just been a way to get everybody out real fast, shake out some weak hands before we keep moving. Honestly, it's really hard to tell until we have our really major drop. It's really hard to tell. This is a nice drop, though. If you think about it, we went to 18, right? 470, and we're coming back down. Usually, as I showed you before, we get like a 10 to 15% drop in total. And that's about a 6% drop, which is healthy to me. I like that. And we did that again here, and we were able to come all the way back up from that. So we're just kind of double bottoming, as you can see. Look, we're hitting the same level that we did right here and right here. Pretty interesting. Could be a giant double bottom. Right back to 17,505 and more coming. So, and that's what the experience of a trader is. Like, you're not worried. You see price coming down, but you know you can just go to the 1 minute, and it's going to have to come back up a little bit. Fourth up, maybe. This is then a fifth down. It's very possible. I'm not as experienced on my Elliott wave. I don't trust it yet like everyone else does, but, you know, I probably should. I don't as much as most Elliott wave traders. They live and die by it. I don't see it play out every single time, but I do see it form a bit of a structure that helps. I'm not going to say it doesn't. So I will include it and probably start like bringing it in, but I'm not going to make it my main focus. I've made a lot of money without ever using it. So in my opinion, I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing, right? So basic attention token, it's in this inverted head and shoulder pattern. Look for it to break out, possibly get back up to 19.9. It's at 19.6 now. It was doing well inside the pattern, broke out, came back down. Look at that horrible wick trying to get all the stop losses out. 4 hours still wants to roll over though. Not too healthy. I was reading how the US dollar depreciated 11% this year. Fed already said they need to print twice as much for 2021. At some point, the dollar will be too weak, too volatile to sit in and wait. Do you think that will happen? What do you think people will run off to if the US dollar is no longer a secure option? Well, I've been saying this for years. This has been the crux of my entire show at the beginning. When I started the show, I would play Mike Maloney's video all the time. I kind of feel like it's a good time to do that. Is anyone Does everyone have 6 minutes for like a little bit of an education? I haven't done this in a while, and I think it's super important. It's 5 minutes, but it really kind of gives you the idea of why I'm in Bitcoin all the way. And so anyway, let me show you what's going on. Gonna go to a guy's channel, and his channel is it's Mike Maloney. Okay. Mike Maloney, gold, silver. Okay. Now this guy got me in. I found him online, and he breaks down everything about the hidden secrets of money. He talks about our first currency we ever found. This is basically a documentary on money, the history of the human money. And he shows you so many amazing things. Where does money come from? All this different stuff. And there's just one section that I'm going to pull out for you that's going to change the way you think of everything. And it's going to show you this. This is what I play all the time.
Lend it out. That currency gets...
So check it out.
And increase our net. Once wrote, by this means, government may secretly and unobserved confiscate the wealth of the people, and not one man in a million will detect the theft. I believe that presented correctly, anyone can understand this system, regardless of how complex it is. So let's do a recap and break it down even more. The way the system works is that, step 1, the government creates glorified IOUs. These bonds increase our national debt and put the public on the hook to pay it back. Step 2, IOUs are swapped to create currency. The Treasury sells the bonds to the banks. The banks then turn around and sell our national debt at a profit to the Federal Reserve, which they probably own.
Yep.
The Federal Reserve then opens its checkbook that doesn't have a penny in it.
Not a penny.
And buys those IOUs with IOUs that it writes, checks, on a checking account that has a zero balance.
See?
Then they give those checks to the banks and currency just springs into existence. And then the whole process repeats. This results in a buildup of bonds at the Federal Reserve and currency at the Treasury.
So you understand this? Two politicians will go against each other, and they'll both vote for deficit spending. We're in a deficit right now. So if I was going to be a politician, I was going to say we're going to rebuild the libraries, we're going to make bike lanes safer, and we're going to change, we're going to put more crosswalks. Like my town, a friend's mother got killed, and so the selectmen and all the people went out of their way to make the town safe by putting blinking lights everywhere and making the crosswalks more visible, And that was a good thing, but it puts us more into debt than we don't have the money. So then how do we get the money? The Treasury writes an IOU to pay for it, which is a bond. And it sells the bond at what's called an open market system, which is where banks from all around the world basically auction our debt off. I'll buy it here. No, I'll buy it. And they fight for it. Eventually someone wins the auction and they get to own the government bond. They pay the United States digital dollars, which they really just move from one account to another. So they never use paper money. It's just digital dollars that are sent into the Treasury's account from the bank. Now they sit on an IOU. They go now to the Federal Reserve and sell the IOU at a profit for more than they sold it to the Treasury for. So the IOU not only makes money right here by replacing the existing money that went in, which was digital dollars, wasn't even printed as well. Remember that. So it just adds to the supply without actually having any dollars behind it, which that's okay. But back in the day, the money doesn't have it. And then you can see that the Federal Reserve then writes him an IOU on a check with no money. So they create money out of thin air. And when he makes the profit, that money inflates your money immediately. So right when he makes profit, he's made money out of thin air, out of nothing. So he's taken $1 from you or a couple cents from you or pennies from you. And this is happening daily all the time. So every day, like a treadmill, they're taking away your money. They're taking away your money. You can't see it, but it's happening all the time because they're creating money out of thin air. You can't create money out of thin air. By doing that, you're actually adding to the supply, which you're lowering the price of the individual dollar.
Which is really just a supply of numbers. The Treasury then deposits the numbers in the various branches of the government, and we get to step 3. The government spends the numbers on promises, public works, social programs, and war. Then the government employees, contractors, and soldiers deposit their pay into the banks. And we get to step 4. where the banks multiply the numbers by magically inventing more IOUs through fractional reserve lending, where they steal a portion of everyone's deposit and lend it out. That currency gets redeposited, and then a portion is stolen again. And the process repeats over and over, magnifying the currency supply exponentially. Then we work for some of those numbers, which brings us to step 5, where our numbers are taxed. We pay tax to the IRS, who then turns our numbers over to the Treasury, so the Treasury can pay the principal plus the interest on bonds that were purchased by the Federal Reserve with a check from nothing.
Zero.
Then we get to step 6, the debt ceiling delusion. The system is designed to require ever-increasing levels of debt and will eventually collapse under its own weight because politicians always kick the can down the road. They don't want it to collapse on their watch. And finally, step 7, the secret owners take their cut. The world's largest banks own the Federal Reserve. Those banks make a profit selling our national debt to the Fed. They make a profit when the Fed pays them interest on the reserves held at the Fed, and the Fed pays them a 6% dividend on their ownership of the Fed. This system is fundamentally evil. It funnels wealth from the working population to the government and the banking sector. It is the cause of the artificial booms and busts of modern economies, and it causes great disparity of wealth between the rich and the working class. And it is only possible because we no longer use real money, we use currency. But worst of all, it is a form of enslavement. Bond is the root word of bondage.
See this?
Whenever a government issues a bond, it is a promise to make us pay tax in the future.
They bond us to future debt. A bond is you're bonded to future debt
enjoyed in the last century.
that you never asked for.
Nobody is asking our children if they want to work hard in the future to pay for the prosperity we're enjoying now. George Washington once wrote to James Madison, "No generation has the right to contract debts greater than can be paid off during the course of its own existence." By stealing prosperity from tomorrow so we can spend it today, we enslave ourselves and future generations. Now this all sounds pretty bad, but there is great hope, for you are the greatest threat to this false monetary system. This system relies on the public being ignorant of its workings. Please share this knowledge with everyone you know, because an informed public that fully understands the system can build a better future for generations to come. And now I leave you with this quote, widely attributed to a former director of the Bank of England. "The modern banking system manufactures money out of nothing. The process is perhaps the most astounding piece of sleight of hand that was ever invented. Banking was conceived in inequity and born in sin. Bankers own the earth. Take it away from them, but leave them the power to create money and control credit, and with the flick of a pen, they will create enough money to buy it back again. But if you want to continue as the slaves of bankers and pay the cost of your own slavery, let them continue to create money and to control credit." This is the Federal Reserve in Washington, D.C. It's located on Constitution Street, and that is just as much of a joke as the New York Fed being located on Liberty Street.
Hilarious.
Both of them are unconstitutional. Both of them limit our liberty.
They're unconstitutional. Can you believe that?
Away from us every second of every
They're
day.
breaking
To the Federal Reserve,
the bond
to the
that the forefathers created.
sector.
I'll buy Bitcoin because I'm an American.
You are now among the 1 in a million who can detect the theft of your prosperity. So the big question is,
what are you going to do about it?
1. Watch this video until you can describe and teach it to others.
You know how long I had to watch this video till I could describe it and teach it to others? It took me years. Here's a bigger picture of this is even a better place. I'm gonna break it down for you guys because I think this is important. Now, Bitcoin pumping, I'm now up in the leverage trade. Wish I got in a little lower, right? But hey, Bitcoin pumping all the way back to 17,720. If that isn't strong of a V-shaped recovery, and I said it would. It's just simple RSI, right? Now watch this. This is insanity. This is like the best point ever. Where does money come from?
The Treasury then deposits the newly created currency into the various branches of the government, and the politicians say, "Hey, thanks for that." And the government does some deficit spending on public works, bank and pick it up. Now, that always has a zero balance, there isn't one penny in there.
They have no money
A
in.
quote from the Boston Federal Reserve, When you or I write a check, there must be sufficient funds in our account to cover that check. But when the Federal Reserve writes a check, there is no bank deposit on which that check is drawn. When the Federal Reserve writes a check, it is creating money. The Fed then hands those checks to the banks, and at this point, currency springs into existence. The banks then
I'm not going to
take
sit
that
there and watch an
currency
AMA, dude.
and buy more bonds at the next Treasury auction.
This is important.
What is a check? A check is also an IOU. When you write a check, you're making a note that says, here's my IOU for cash. All you have to do is go to the bank and pick it up.
See?
Now, it's very, very important that you understand this process, because we're going to come back later and show you the devastating effect this has on you. The Treasury issues IOUs, bonds. The banks then buy those IOUs with currency. The Federal Reserve then writes IOUs, checks, and hands them to the banks in exchange for the Treasury's IOUs.
Theo, instead of like
bonds.
being upset, you
And
should really
currency is
focus on
created.
this, man.
So what's really happening is the Federal Reserve and the
Don't be
Treasury
negative for
are
any
just
reason. Always be
swapping
positive.
IOUs,
Always be
using
positive.
the banks as middlemen, and abracadabra, presto, currency magically springs into existence. This process repeats and repeats over and over again, enriching the banks and indebting the public by raising the national debt.
See?
The end result is that there's a buildup of bonds at the Federal Reserve and currency at the Treasury. This process is also where all paper currency comes from. The Federal Reserve and the government mistakenly call it base money because they didn't watch episode 1 of this series and they don't know the difference between money and currency. But I will correctly refer to it as base currency because it is not money. It is currency, and as we've learned, there is a big difference. Money has to be a store of value and maintain its purchasing power over a long period.
So currency, medium of exchange, unit of account, portable, durable, divisible, fungible, interchangeable. But can it hold its value? The dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power since it was in existence. Gold, on the other hand, has just gone up and up and up in purchasing power. It just continues to get that value that the dollar leaves. And once you understand this concept, this is the concept of Bitcoin. And that's why I understood Bitcoin before I even knew about it, because I understood
We learned in
the
episode
scarcity
1
of
that
gold.
earlier in our history, our paper currency was just a claim check. It was a representation for real money of intrinsic value, the gold and silver that was held on deposit at the Treasury.
Yeah.
You could walk into any bank
And get gold.
slap your currency, like say a $20 bill, on the counter and redeem it for real money, a $20 gold piece. But now, this base currency that's piling up back here is really nothing but a receipt or a claim check on an IOU, that bond. So it's really nothing but a supply of numbers.
Yep.
The Treasury then deposits the newly created currency into the various branches of the government, and the politicians say, hey,
Like
thanks
the monster created on Jekyll Island, you know,
for
that
that.
whole.
And the government does some deficit spending on public works, social programs.
You don't understand, Ross. Ross, I'm going to say something that may hurt your feelings. We went off the gold standard a long time ago. So when you say the Federal Reserve doesn't even have the amount of gold for every dollar they say they have, they don't have to. We're off the gold standard, my friend. They don't own any gold attached to the dollar. You know, they went around and asked 500 Americans, what do they think back the U.S. dollar? The only thing that backs the U.S. dollar is the United States Army. It's our weaponry. It's our government. That's who backs the dollar. The dollar is not backed by gold. But you know, 30% of Americans thought that gold still backed the U.S. dollar. And Ross, when you say that the Federal Reserve doesn't even have the amount of gold of every dollar they say they have, it makes me think that you think that the dollar was backed by gold. It never was. It was, but in 1933, they took us off of the gold standard. Also, you have to research Bretton Woods, where they used the petrodollar and they pegged every fiat currency throughout the world to the U.S. dollar. So once you get that idea and that concept, it makes understanding buying Bitcoin far easy.
The government employees, contractors, and soldiers then deposit their pay in the banks.
So this is how this works.
Social programs.
The
Treasury then deposits.
Two politicians will battle, right?
Hey, thanks for that.
This is where money comes from.
And the government does some deficit spending.
This is exactly where money comes from, okay?
On public works, social programs.
You have two politicians that go against each other, and each say they're going to do something to save the town or fix the town. Like I said before, a new bike lane, this and that, a better library, all this other stuff, right?
And war. The government employees, contractors, and soldiers then deposit their pay in the banks. Now, this may come as a shock.
Exactly. Fiat money is
When you
backed by men
deposit
with
your
guns.
currency
Paul
with the
Krugman.
bank,
Exactly.
You're not actually depositing it into an account
Listen to this.
safely
Listen to
held in
this.
trust for you. Instead, you're actually loaning the bank.
When you go to the bank and give them your money, you're giving them a loan. You don't see that, but that's what you're doing. That's why I buy Bitcoin. Why am I going to give somebody else a loan? They're richer than me. Who the hell am I to give them a loan? Yo, putting your money in the bank is so dumb, man. It's insane. They have us living in such a brainwashed system. It's insanity.
Bank your currency.
And Theo, when I write this video, it's because I'm the most passionate about this. Like, I just learned about sharing. It's cool. But I am so passionate about spreading this word because this is the information that people need to understand so they can start investing in Bitcoin without fear. The fear is to go with the dollar. The fear is to not risk yourself into
certain
Bitcoin.
Legal limits, they can do with it pretty much anything they please. This includes gambling in the stock market and loaning it out at a profit, of course.
This is Mike Maloney.
Now this is where the machine of currency creation really gets cranking, because this is where something called fractional reserve lending comes into play. Fractional reserve lending is exactly what it says. The banks are allowed to reserve only a fraction of your deposit and loan the rest out. Although reserve ratios may vary, I'm going to use a 10% reserve ratio as our example. If you deposit $100 in your account, the bank can legally take $90 of it and loan it out without telling you.
Isn't that crazy?
The bank must hold $10 of your deposit in reserve just in case you want some of it. These reserves are called vault cash. But why does your bank account still say you have $100 if the bank has stolen $90 of it? Because the bank left IOUs it created called bank credit in its place. Now I know this sounds crazy, but here it is in black and white from the Fed. Commercial banks create checkbook money when they grant a loan simply by adding new deposit dollars in accounts on their books in exchange for a borrower's IOU.
Insane.
These are nothing but numbers that the banks type into their computers. And even though these bank credit IOU numbers are very different from base currency numbers, because they only exist in computers, they are still currency. So now there is $190 in existence. Now, the reason people take out loans from the banks is to buy something. They're going to buy a house or a car or something like that.
Bitcoin's
so
flying right now.
The borrower takes the $90 that the bank loaned to him from your account, and he pays the seller of the item. But then the seller deposits that currency into his account, and his bank loans out 90% of that. And
yeah, Frank's amazing. I love that guy. One of my favorite people in the world.
So now there's $271 in existence.
Yeah, pause. I love Frank Abagnale. Abagnale. Guy's amazing. Dude, he made like he was a doctor, made like he was a lawyer. He got himself into the echelons of life. Ended up working for the FBI. Like, what an amazing life guy. Wrote a book, had movies written about him, and then just now he's famous. Like, what an amazing life.
This process repeats and repeats.
Love that guy. He's like my hero, man. Like,
an initial deposit of just $100.
I don't want to be a con man, but
create up to $1,000 of bank credit.
He's pretty cool.
All backed by $100 of vault cash, just 10%.
So look, you put your $100 in vault cash. 90 goes to this guy, right? And then they keep the $9 and they put 81 to this guy, and then so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying?
But as I said, reserve ratios vary wildly. On some deposits, it's 10%. On
some deposits are 10%, some are 0. Some they don't even have to have a reserve deposit at all.
Others, it's 3%. And on some forms of deposits, reserve requirements are 0.
Bitcoin,
the result is
17,800 again, like I said.
Far greater than
V-shaped recovery on this.
Would lead you to believe.
I didn't even panic sell.
So once again, when currency is deposited in the banks get to lend it out, and then it gets redeposited and relent, redeposited and relent, redeposited and relent over and over again, creating bank credit all the way. This is where the vast majority of our currency supply comes from. In fact, 92 to 96% of all currency in existence is created not by the government,
but by banks.
But here in the banking system.
They fake the money. So we showed you that they're making money when they sell the bonds to the Federal Reserve on the back end before it even gets here. Then when you go and start loaning your money, right, then they pay government employees who take their paychecks and put them back into the bank. I felt the need to go over, the Mike Maloney video today.
Now, massive amounts of currency spewing into society may at first sound like a fun idea. That is, until you remember one of the most important hidden secrets of money from episode 1, that the prices of everyday goods and services act as a sponge on an expanding currency supply.
Yeah.
The more currency we have...
If you're not noticing it, the prices of things are going up in the stores, and the prices of food are going up. Soon food is going to be way more expensive than it is. Heed my words here. It's kind of creepy, but this is happening.
The more prices rise. This is where inflation comes from. The true definition of inflation is an expansion of the currency supply. Rising prices are merely the symptom. So our entire currency supply is nothing but a couple of bucks whipped up in this hocus-pocus scam.
See this?
Where the Treasury and the Federal Reserve swap glorified IOUs and a bunch of numbers that the banks just type into their computers.
Insane.
That's it. That's our entire currency supply. It's
it really
nothing
is.
but a supply of numbers. Some of them printed, most of them typed, and there is nothing else. But if you thought that was crazy, get ready to enter the twilight zone of modern economics. We work for some of that currency supply. True wealth is your time, but we trade away more.
You just made an amazing point. He talked about the velocity of money. This is something that everyone needs to understand. The velocity of money, how fast a dollar travels through the economy. Now you have so much money in the economy, and eventually what you're going to have is you have a slowdown of the velocity of money, right? So to keep, or actually a speed up in the velocity of money, to keep the velocity of money down, they locked us down. Why do you think there's coin shortages, right? Things like that nature. It's a bit strange, but it makes sense.
Moments of our lives, hour by hour, day by day, and year by year,
so
somebody printed on pieces of paper or just typed into a computer.
This is
now
insane.
Those numbers represent our blood, sweat, tears, labor, ideas, and talent. We are what gives the currency its value. But here comes the really cruel joke. We work hard so that we can save some of that currency, so that we can pay the tax collector. In the United States, it's known as the IRS. They then turn it over to the Treasury so that the Treasury can pay the principal plus interest on that bond that the Federal Reserve bought with a check drawn
with no money.
on an account.
So they have the balls to take your money from your hard-earned paycheck while they're making money out of thin air and making the money in your paycheck worth less every single time. Come on, man.
Now let's do a recap on this section, because this is where the system begins to rob you and I on a massive
It gets even
scale.
worse. It's worse than I showed you already.
Taxes are not used for schools, roads, and public services, but to pay interest on bonds that the Federal Reserve bought with a check drawn on an account that has nothing in it. The Federal Reserve is committing fraud. But here's one of the biggest secrets of them all. Before the establishment of the Federal Reserve, there was no need for personal income tax. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913.
See this?
And that very same year,
no need for income tax.
The Constitution was amended to allow income tax. Do you really think this was just a coincidence? Ask yourself how much income tax you've paid over your lifetime. Much of it has been silently siphoned away into the hands of those who own the system.
Yep.
Yes, this system has owners. Who they are is an even bigger secret that we'll get to shortly. But first, we need to understand the mumbo-jumbo of the so-called debt ceiling.
Yep.
It's all based on a huge paradox. There was interest due on that bond, and there was interest due on every one of those loans that the banks made. That means that there is interest due on every dollar in existence. Let me ask you something. If you borrow the very first dollar into existence, and that's the only dollar that exists on the planet, but you promise to pay it back plus another dollar's worth of interest, where do you get the second dollar?
We're going to run this back. This is really important for you guys. To everyone take a deep breath. Just stop what you're doing. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. You want to be in 100 trades. Just take a deep breath. Watch this.
Every dollar in existence. Let me ask you something. If you borrow the very first dollar into existence, and that's the only dollar that exists on the planet, but you promise to pay it back plus another dollar's worth of interest, where do you get the second dollar to pay the interest? The answer is that you have to borrow that one into existence and promise to pay it back with interest as well. So now there are $2 in existence, but you owe $4, and so on and so on. The result is there's never enough currency to pay the debt. There is always more debt in the system than there is currency in existence to pay the debt. Therefore,
no, it's a great day for futures trades, man. Look, I just posted a great futures trade, dude. We're killing it.
It will come to an end one day. What would happen if the government stopped borrowing to do deficit spending? Are the payments on those treasury bonds going to stop?
No.
What would happen if the public stopped borrowing and going deeper into debt? Are your house and car payments going to stop?
No.
No. There is a payment due every month on the principal plus the interest on every dollar in existence, and those payments do not stop. If we stop borrowing, then no new currency is created to replace the currency that we use to make the payments. Whether you're making a payment on a loan or paying tax to make a payment on a bond, the portion of the payment that goes to pay off the principal extinguishes that portion of the debt. But the debt also extinguishes the currency. Currency and debt are like matter and antimatter. When they meet, they annihilate each other.
Exactly.
If we just pay off the principal only on all the loans and bonds,
we'd just be left with the debt.
The entire currency supply just vanishes. So if we don't go deeper into debt every year, look what happens. The whole thing goes into a deflationary collapse under the weight of those payments.
Deflation.
Politicians and pundits alike talk
Remember
about
that he said
balancing the budget, paying down the debt, and living within our means. They don't understand that that is deflationary. It is impossible to do under our current monetary system without collapsing the whole economy. This is why any talk of a debt ceiling is not only ridiculous, it's delusional. The system is designed to require ever-increasing levels of debt just to continue. And that's why politicians will always kick the can down the road and raise this so-called debt ceiling over.
And here's the last part. Here's the last thing that's going to really piss you off.
The founding fathers of the United States knew the danger.
Now, I'm from Boston, and when you're from Boston, you're reminded of the Battle of Bunker Hill, the Revolutionary War, Paul Revere. You grow up believing that you live in an independent city. Like, you really do. And, like, I could cry over the Revolutionary War, and I felt the stories of our revolution growing up. Because in Boston, the first city in America, in Philadelphia, the first two cities, I get emotional because I'm an American, man. 100%, and they're circumventing our wealth, guys. Like, they're hurting people, like, and then people are screaming. I know it's Black Lives Matter, everyone's wilding out. We're slaves, man, until a politician stands up and says that because I know they're hurting everybody in many different ways, but until a politician stands up and says the Federal Reserve needs to be out, it's creating a bad frequency, a juju on all of us. You don't know it, but you're being affected by it. You could be as positive as you want that day. You're holding $1 full of debt in your pocket. You know, I'm not saying that we can't push through and live our own vibrations and not let them get in our heads. But what I am saying is we're involved in a system that is inherently draining us, even if we can't see it. And that frequency isn't good. It's unhealthy. And I think that frequency is making us slaves. And when we say they're discriminating against black and whites, they just make this mess so we can all argue over race and religion. This is the true argument, guys. This is the true battle. This is what they don't want you to know. This is what they're trying to stop you from learning. I'm getting crazy here, but this is the fact. This is the fact here. And this is why I buy Bitcoin. This is why I'm online every single damn day telling people that, you know what? I'm not going to listen to the noise. I found it out. I figured it out. I wiggled my way through the system. My parents didn't know this. My sisters didn't know this. My uncle, my aunt, no one told me this. I did deep dives online, guys, and that's how I found my truth. And the issue is I still find truth online, and my friends tell me that I'm listening to pundits and nonsense and garbage. And the thing is, they don't even know this. I could show this to multiple people, and it doesn't register with them. A month from now, they won't be able to explain it. They won't know. This took me 5 years to understand, guys, because you're in a brainwash, too. Every day you're going out and you're seeing advertisements. Those advertisements are actually making you want to be a part of the system without you knowing it. Images, frequencies, colors, subliminal messages are hitting you, and you're being repositioned back into this. It happened to me. I watched this video, learned it, a year later didn't know it. I watched this video, learned it, a year later didn't know it. I watched this video, learned it, a year later. I watched this video for 5 years, guys, until it finally clicked in me. I finally was like, oh, this is what's going on? Because once you learn it, you think, okay, I'm watching a conspiracy video and this isn't real. Like, this isn't really what's happening. And it is really what's happening. And your friends and family won't believe you. They'll think you're watching some nonsense, when actually you're watching the true history of money. And
Dangers of central banking.
It's going to take a while for this to set in for you, Ross. I know right where you are, but we're going to accelerate you faster than you realize.
As a tax revolt, but now we must pay tax just to have a.
So watch this.
Of central banking and.
So watch this. We're going to go back to why we started, why we got off central banking, how we got to America in the first place. We got to America because of taxes, guys. The central bank. We tried to get away from the central bank. That's what America is about. Now, they didn't let us. They sent Freemasons into our system. They reconverted us, and they said, we'll get you back. You won't win. The Queen will get you back. Don't think we're not still owned by the Queen, man. Do your research. The Queen owns America, man.
Fought to free themselves from this very thing. The Revolutionary War started out as a tax revolt, but now we must pay tax just to have a monetary system. Having just suffered through the hyperinflation of the continental dollar, which was printed into oblivion to finance the Revolutionary War.
We had the continental dollar before the United States dollar. Most people don't even know that. So when I talk to people and they're uneducated, it makes it pointless to discuss things with them. And 90% of the people here in America, I'm sorry to say right now, are uneducated, guys. They're uneducated. If they were educated, they would buy Bitcoin. It would make complete sense to them. So here's the continental dollar, okay? The continental dollar, the Fugio or the Franklin, okay? I hit you with that Fugio. That should be, I'm going to use that as new slang. I got that Fugio, you know? I'm going to make that new slang, Fugio, bro. The Franklin dollar. It was the first pattern coin struck for the United States. The coins were minted in 1776. Examples were made on pewter, brass, and silver. I would like to have one of these, man. I'd like to find one of these. I bet they're worth a lot. I'm off to the beach. Peace lifers, listen to this man. He is speaking the truth. You won't find it anywhere else. Muser, send pictures of the beach, man, or it will be your ass. Thank you so much, Muser. Have a great day, bro. Enjoy. By the way, Die Hard soundtrack is so banging, it makes you want to watch the vid over and over again. Bro, if the population was educated, we wouldn't need Bitcoin. That's a good point, right? The United States started using, you're right, we wouldn't have to have created it to get ourselves out of the hole we were in. The United States started issuing its own banknotes in 1776 after the start of the American Revolutionary War, denominated in the continental currency. While no legislature authorizing a dollar coin had been discovered, but no resolutions from July through September mentioned the $1 banknote, suggesting that it was to have been replaced by a coin. Benjamin Franklin designed both sides of the coin. The obverse features the sun shining on a sundial, the Latin motto Fugio, fly, and mind your business, a rebus meaning time flies, so mind your business. Interesting, right? The reverse features 13 chain links representing a plea for the 13 colonies to remain. So there's the sundial. What a cool coin, man. Fugio, free in Latin. To be free in Latin, right? To fly away. Yeah, but they got us again, right? Today, about $100 survived, struck in pewter. Historians surmise that much of the original mintage was melted due to wartime demand for the alloy. Only a few silver examples are known to exist. This composition was most likely standard for circulation. However, the idea of a silver dollar might have been scrapped, as the United States had no reliable supply of silver during the war. Several brass trial shrinkings are also known. They don't get into how they printed it to zero, which you'd think they would have talked about. That's pretty interesting. That Wikipedia doesn't really break it down. But we're going to break it down for you guys right now. And we're going to get back into the live stream and the coins literally in the next 2 minutes. We're almost done with this. So if you are kind of like, damn, I wanted crypto and this guy's talking this stuff. But the leverage trade's going well now. We're up 27% at this point. So, hey, right? If you took my trade, see how calm I was, man, while Bitcoin was tanking?
They understood.
Remember
the
that, guys.
Of fiat
Remember that.
Currency and debt-based monetary systems.
See how calm I was?
So to protect future generations from institutional
I didn't panic sell.
And out-of-control government,
I bought into the fear.
Wrote into the Constitution that only gold and silver can be money, for the simple fact that you can't print them. Our current system is not only unconstitutional, but it robs us of the liberty and prosperity our forefathers fought and died for.
Yeah, I'm upset.
We are all feeling the effects of ignoring the Constitution right now.
Calmer than you are, dude.
By forcing more currency
Calmer
into
than
circulation, our purchasing power is diluted. Inflation is
fucking
a slow
pedos, dude.
and insidious
fucking 8-year-olds, man.
self-tax.
8-year-olds,
It is simply
dude.
the result of this debt-based monetary system. This system empowers and benefits those who create.
Okay, so we went over it. I think I gave you a schooling. Please watch this video numerous times. I'm going to put the link in the description right here into the chat. Send this to family, friends, anyone you can get down. Once you get them stoned, sit them down, and just say, hey, guys, I want to show you something. They'll sit there like, at first they won't believe you. They'll think it's a lie. So let's get back to Bitcoin. What a nice little time, you know. We just kind of went into a different world for a little bit. Bitcoin dominance still wanting to pump. That big wick tells me no, no, no. These altcoins may be in for some trouble. Maybe in for some trouble. So let's look at Bitcoin now. On the precipice of 8K though. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? This is such a funny freaking... This is the funniest asset you'll ever play in your life, right? Well, the 1 minute, man. I should have gotten in there. I got in at like 7.6. I'm a fool because I should have gotten way more out of the trade. But we're up 27%, which I'm super happy about. I'm trying to take a leverage account from $150 to $1,000, and then we're gonna try to take it to $10,000. So that's the idea. Let me show you the leverage trade. I made it live with you guys, but I couldn't have the screen up because I needed to see the chart like at the same time. I guess I could have used this chart, but we got in. You can see we're up $62 now at this point. 28%. Oh damn! It just went down. That said 62. That's weird. Or maybe I saw that as a 6.2 because I'm so tired. And I never slept last night, honestly. I eventually went down at 4 a.m. and woke up. I think I got 5 hours of sleep. I slept from about 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. So, hey, better than most, right? So now can you put... Wait, and you can keep putting a limit order. You can put more limit orders in. So, like you want a limit order now at 7.8, right? I want to see how long I can ride this at this point. Pretty cool, right? You have your open orders, so you can cancel one and then throw a stop loss at break even, which would be the plan, right? I wish you could just tweak this and hit it. Yeah, market price 18,175 is where I want to get out at if I'm so lucky. I cannot believe the pump up of the price, right? Back into the pattern. Doing great. I didn't think it was going to take this long, and I honestly thought that was the end. I thought we were going to start coming down. I wasn't sure, but hey, that's why I stayed on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute. Because the 1 minute, nothing goes down forever. It has to come up and down. So you're going to find every time the 1 minute's oversold, you're going to just make a leverage trade. It's kind of simple. 1 minute oversold, make a leverage trade. Get out and then move your stop loss into profit as soon as you can and get out. Same thing here, same thing there. You know, just keep doing the same stuff over and over again. And so you can kind of, yeah, so we can put a market limit at 7.9, or do we just kind of, we're going to break even. Entry price at 17,650. And I believe I can put a limit there, right? I'm like forgetting how to make limit orders because I used to do it all the time, and now I'm just using 3 commas. Looks like we're going to 8K again, though. I don't see what's stopping it. If we could get all the way back down, how low did we go? That was insane. What a day, man. What a day. But yeah, look at the futures trade, man. No lie. Not a lot of money we put up, $160, but we're up 30%. I mean, that's to make $40 on $130 is pretty sweet, right? And we can keep doing that over and over again. We're going to take this account up. We're going to take it up. We're going to take it up. Beast mode, baby. 18K, man. Here we go. On its way. I took 25% from that BTC. Hey, hey, go shorty. It's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. We're going to sip a card. It's your birthday. But we don't know. No, it's not your birthday. Find me in the club. Pocket full of bubs. I got what you need. Into getting drugged. I ain't into having sex. I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you into getting love. My bought me nothing. My fancy things. My car, my jewels, my fancy things. Nigga came up, I ain't changed. Dude, he's the man, dude. He killed it. Anyway, Smash up the likes, guys. Live stream needs to be seen by anyone serious about making money with Bitcoin. Thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate that. It means the world to me that I get that much support from the Moon family. Shout out to Moon. Shout out to Who Knew. Shout out to Joe Patricio, Jose, man. He doesn't come on my live stream, but I see him. If this ever gets to him, let him know that I think he's amazing. He posts so many futures trades, even if he's only using $40. I don't give a damn. That guy is making money. He's clearly doing his thing. Now, let's look at Adam. We're looking at Adam right now into a bit of a bull flag. I think Adam's going to take the cake today. I think you're going to see Adam kind of make a move. It didn't pop yesterday with every other coin, but it stayed above 5, which I think is its kind of happy place. So I'm going with Adam. I want to see it make a big move. Let's look at it on the 4-hour. So the 4-hour came down, but we're at the bottom of the pattern. This would be a time to get into Adam. Suggest that we could at least get back to 525. 537. So these are the type of plays that I play in situations like this. I just keep it close to the bone and just, you know what? Just play from the bottom to the top of the pattern. Up to there, down to there, up to there. We're down here, play up, back up. So look, we came down, we went up. We came down, we went up. We came down. You can only assume that we're going to go back up to the top of the pattern. And that's all you got to do, guys. And if it doesn't, it falls out, then you put a stop loss right here. It's kind of this is how I trade, and this is why I'm able to stay profitable, because I just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I keep finding the bottom of the trend line, trying to get into the bottom of the trend line over and over again. Oversold. Make sure that the blue line, that the red line is pink. So you're going to wait maybe a little more sideways action. It looks like we're coming back down to here. That will overset the MACD. Then we should get our cross. Kind of playing a little bit of a voodoo magic idea there. You know, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to play that idea. And hopefully, but bottom of the pattern. Stop loss right here below the trend line, and we should be able to go up. 797. Bitcoin taking a bit of a crash now. 79789. And that's only just probably the oversold region. Yeah, see, we got overbought. And wait, let's go to Bitcoin. That's the other thing. Do you stay in? Do you get more? How much do you wait? Well, we're gonna now. What happens is usually we reset. I've been watching this now over and over again, and we get down low, we boom up, then we come back down, and that's when we usually drop a little bit below the 200-day moving average. So right now, we should come back down, the 200-day should come up, and we should kind of maybe cross it a little bit like this. That's usually the first beginning of the pump, right? Then we come up again, and now the RSI resets a second time, but this time the RSI, we get closer, right? Even here, like, so here, we start up, like down here, we make it above the 200-day moving average. But then when the RSI comes back down, we get really close to it. So the first time we get below it, second time, and then the third time we bounce off of it. And that's kind of what I'm believing here. So we moved up. We're now above the 200-day moving average. We're going to come back down, probably go a little bit below it, move back up. The RSI is going to reset like this. When the RSI comes back down, we're going to come back down. But at that point, the 200-day moving average should be the bounce and not the dip. You know, and then we do this again. This is what I'm trying to take you through, this evolution in my mind. And then we come back down. Now, at this point, 200-day moving average is here, and we sometimes just don't even touch it, and then we begin to move. That's the beginning of the move. So you got to really watch this 200-day moving average on the 1 minute. Once we start to disrespect it and break it, we will snap back to it, but then we'll be snapping back to it on the downtrend. So you want to watch this yellow line. It's super important which way it goes. And that's all I got to say for that. So that's kind of my call for Bitcoin right now. We're going to roll down. We can get oversold again. So it was a good time to sell because we got overbought up here, right? So you get into the oversold, you sell at the overbought region. And you also had bearish divergence. You're supposed to sell right there. I sometimes get distracted while I'm live streaming. So don't stream and trade. It's not always the easiest thing to do. I'll be honest. But Now, Bitcoin seems to be respecting the bottom of this trend line. Let me delete all that nasty work. Seems to be respecting the bottom of that trend line that I drew in the pyramid. You know, we did fall out of the pyramid just like I said we would, right? Let me bring that pyramid back up. Or are we still in the pyramid too? The diamond. I mean, why am I calling it a pyramid? See, you can tell I'm out of it. Running on fumes, dude. Running on fumes. The fact that I'm even live streaming right now is insane. I was live streaming yesterday at like 2 in the morning. So now we're going to bounce. We should kind of come down. Usually we come down a little bit with this. If we hold it, it'd be very strong. But I really don't see that happening. You know, usually we want to get oversold. If we get oversold, we're going to have to dip below the 200-day moving average a little bit. And this is how you can do the straight. And this is how I can tell you. This is how later on I tell people, hey, we're going here. We're going there. Like last night, out of nowhere, I said, we're going to 18.450. And how did I know that? And it was because I was watching slight indications like this. And when I saw certain things play out in a way that they are not, like this is supposed to come down and get oversold below the 200-day moving average. This is just what happens. Okay? Battling it out now. We should get below the 200. So I took you through the progression that I think should happen. At that point, we'll get oversold and we'll bounce back up above. We'll get another next move. So you could be ready to open your next leverage trade now. Get ready, guys. It's going to be a higher entry than before. And that's also going to kind of give you an indication that we're going bullish, right? I'm just watching the RSI reset on the 1 minute. That's all that's going on. So this says we may not even get down. And if we don't get to oversold regions, we usually almost do. We like look down, 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 down. It's very rare that we don't on the 1 minute. Extremely bullish if we start to move up from here. When we were really bullish, I'm trying to see, even though there we didn't touch. There we didn't touch. So it can happen, especially in a big move like this, see? So here we didn't get oversold a few times. We did a couple waves without getting oversold. We did 1, 2, 3 waves. So it's a chance and some bullishness that this is it. We don't get too far from the 200 in the first time, so that makes sense right now, right? And then we bounced off of the 50. The 50 is also coming for the 200. When that crosses, that's golden cross. And so you want to see this red line cross the yellow line. It's going to tell you another thing. So this is I'll get ready to get into another leverage trade right now, guys. If you just got out, might be time to get back in. We'll wait for the bullish divergence here, but now I'm going to get you guys into another trade. It's really simple. You just clear your mind. Tell yourself this is what you're going to do. Open your futures chart. You're trading. Open your chart and have 2 screens if you can. Really hard, in my opinion, to do it without 2 screens. I'm not trying to say, monitors aren't. I know not everyone can have 2 screens, 5 screens, and all that. But the more screens you have, the better. It's really going to play out for you. It's going to help you stay calm, because you're going to be able to see things visually, like give your brain the information you need all at once. Shout out to everyone on the live stream right now. Kelly Jones, Jesse B, Colin, Marafro. If you stayed throughout my little lesson on the history of money with Mike Maloney, I really appreciate it. I just feel like he gave me so much and he taught me so much, and I need to teach other people, in the same way that he taught me. And that's just kind of my plan and idea, right? So I figured, hey, if he did that for me and he taught me so much, then why don't I tell everyone what he taught me? It's about being true to yourself all the time. You never sold Adam. No, I never did. Did you? I didn't. I believe in that position. I really do. I think I'm underwater, but I'm not worried about it. I have a heavy position in it as well. To me, heavy is anything over a couple G's, right? Like, I'll show you the position at the moment. We're down 57 in one at 1875 and 49 in another at 1560. And I've been in the position since, look at this one. This one I just opened, but this one I've been in since Friday the 13th. So patience, man, right? I've been in for 5 days. I've been up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. Patience will pay off, right? So I don't worry about it. As long as I'm not hitting my stop loss and I'm not taking profit, there's really no reason to take it off the table, right? So I'm in the Atom as well. I am down $110, as you can see. But when that comes back, what happens is, what I like about it is my account like bubbles up, because it not only does it go up from the trade, but I also erase the loss, right? So we're battling here. We should hit this level. I don't see why we would break this. So you want to hit previous resistance, like resistance, break up above it. That should become new support. We don't see the bullish divergence yet, though, so we want to see that. And again, bullish as long as we have a higher high, higher low, right? I mean, we don't want to see this tank all the way back down again. That would be bad news. So this comes all the way back down, and then I'm going to turn bearish. I'm going to start kind of worried, being a little more worried. But we should say a similar V-shaped recovery here now as we get into the oversold. It's coming down more. And again, you just watch the RSI and you play with it. And if you can get bullish divergence, meaning a swing up like this, while you have a swing down on the price, you wait for your couple, 2 or 3 of these, and then you get in on the hump. And it's kind of how you judge how to get in on a V-shaped recovery. You use the 1 minute, and you just wait for the RSI to get oversold. Very simple, man. Seems like a lot more stressful than it really is. Just take it easy, take it slow. Don't psych yourself out by all the action. Just relax. Just relax. Take a deep breath. Everything will be all right. Can watch Mike Maloney's documentaries 10 times and will learn something new each time. Should be a requirement in schools. It really should. It should be a requirement in schools. It's insane what they're doing to people. It's insane how they have us behaving. And it's insane how they had the country so divided lately. It's really sad to me. And no one's talking about the real issues at hand. I know race is a big issue, but I feel like they use it to distract us from issues that are far bigger than that. And I'm not saying race is not a big issue, and I'm not trying to be white privilege here. I know I have white privilege. I'm going to say that out loud. I know being white, you get harassed less things happen to you in the streets, especially in a municipal area. I was kind of a kid that dressed, hip-hop-ish, and I got harassed by the police growing up, but I'm sure not as much as some other kids that were living in different places, So I definitely think there's a discrepancy in how people are treated in our country. And I don't want to downplay that at all when I talk about the Federal Reserve. So don't get me wrong. MLK said at the core of the race issues are economic issues. Bro, stop the white privilege stuff. This guy. Well, I'm just saying, I grew up in Boston, right? And I'll give you white privilege. You don't believe white privilege? Okay. I'll give you a story. Okay? It's not a constructive control. I'll tell you why. I grew up in Boston, and when I was a kid, you want to know a real story? I'm breaking down a real story for you guys. I'm growing up in Boston, okay, and I was smoking a little weed in the park with 2 girls when I was about 16. I was going to turn 17 that April. I was 16, like 9th or 10th grade, and I'm sitting there smoking some weed with these girls in a park. This is a crazy story. Crazy story. So, okay, you can tell me why it's not white privilege. I call it Irish privilege then. Fine. It's Irish privilege. We can call it Irish privilege. There was your entry for the long right now, in my opinion. Sometimes you don't have to get the bottom, you get right there. And we should make our way back up. So, anyway, nice call on that. So, check out this story. Behave. What up? What's going on? All right, Jesse, you got to hear this. Turn up your volume for everyone in the shop. Make sure you don't hit that car too hard while you're bending out. Something. So check it out. So I'm smoking weed in the park when I was about 16 years old, right? And 2 undercover cops walked by me, and they were dressed dirty. They actually wore a coat that was like dusty. They made themselves look dirty. So it was kind of like, oh, weird. That's strange, right? And I saw them, and I saw them in my peripheral. I noticed them notice me, but I was like, whatever. And as I watched them, I kind of held the bowl in my hand, and then I took a couple puffs, handed it to the girl, and next thing you know, they came back around. They were like, hey, stop. What are you doing? And I thought they were like trying to rob. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I just was like, I think I saw a badge underneath this thing, whatever, and I just started to run, okay? And this park was in a way where here was the street, and the park, it's hard to, I almost want to draw a diagram because pretty interesting story here. So the street and we had the street, the main street was here, and the park went in, but then you could get back out of the park, but it was separated by a fence. So I went into the park. They got me. I went up like this, and then there was a hole in the fence, and I jumped. Anyway, so I started running from them. I ran out of the park, and then I ran back into the park, and it was divided. The entries were divided by a fence. They were like gardens or something. So as I ran this way, I saw them running this way, and they looked at me like to try to get me. They were running the opposite way to kind of do a U-turn to come at me. I made it to the end of that little divot area, and there was 2 fences like this. And if I sucked in my gut, I was able to squeeze through a tiny hole. And I was a skinny guy always, and I jumped into an alleyway. Now the cops were too big and fat to make it through that area, and they couldn't. Not even fat. Let's just say just big. They were big guys. They couldn't get in that hole that I slid through. I hit the ground. It was like an 8 or 9 foot drop. My glasses fell off. My hat fell off. And what I did is I tried to change how I looked. I took off my sweater. I put it around my waist. I put my hat and I stuck it into my shirt. And I came out around the corner. And I was going to try to kind of do a city block and make it back into the place where I was volunteering. I was volunteering to teach young kids how to snowboard. I was teaching kids from the inner city how to snowboard. Because my parents had more money, right? I grew up in a nice neighborhood. And my parent, I was snowboarding and doing stuff of that nature. And I wanted to give back, so I would go to this place called Youth Enrichment Services twice a week throughout my high school, and we would teach young kids. We would take them up to Vermont, and we would teach kids from the ghetto, kids from people not like that word, but people from impoverished neighborhoods, single moms with a few kids, and we would basically bring them snowboarding, okay? And I'm telling a deep story about my past because Jesse's going to tell me why it's not white privilege. Anyway, so I eventually hit the street. State police have been called at this point. They were undercover state police. They block off the corner a little bit. Cop comes right in, like swoops in. I start trying to walk up a brick wall to get through the city block on Mass Ave in Columbus, if you want to Google it. What happens is the police officer runs right at to me and he says, and I try to act calm like it's not me. He goes, get on the ground, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. And he's like, don't play that. And he grabs me. He grabs me so viciously and hard, I honestly don't know what happens. He ends up on the ground. That's all I know. He ends up on the ground. He's grabbing me by my shirt. And I did this twice now. I've done it. But so you're fighting with someone, you can actually pull yourself out of your shirt, and they can just be holding your shirt. And so he's grabbing me by my shirt, trying to wrestle me. And I did that move, and I got out of my shirt. And he fell on the ground because he was holding my shirt. But he was able to grab a piece of my pants as I tried to run away. And with his other hand, he grabbed a mace and he covered my back. He covered my face because I turned around to hit him off of me. He covered my face, my hands, and I was able to pick my sweater off the ground that I had on my waist. At this point, I had no shirt on. I put my hoodie on over my thing, zipped it up, kept running up the street. I rang the doorbell to the place where I was working at, which was called Youth Enrichment Services. And I hit the doorbell and they let me in. I didn't even wait. I ran into the basement. I went around a corner. I found a closet. I opened up the door to the closet. I went into the closet. It was where we kept all the snowboards. I turned the light on, see everything. I closed the light. And then I went deep into the closet, and I fell over all these boards, and I picked up the snowboards and I put them against myself. Now I'm in the back corner of this closet. Okay? State police bust in the door upstairs. I'm in the closet. Closets are usually below staircases, right? So I can hear them right above me. Boom, 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 boom. They wear the big leather boots, state police, kind of scary looking guys. Especially in Boston, they're one of the, they basically train like some military places. Look up the Massachusetts State Police, one of the most highly trained state police in the country. Anyway, they come down the stairs, boom, 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 boom. Where is he? I hear them all yelling. And this is hilarious. That was really well played, Lance. So I hear them all yelling, they're screaming, where is he, what is he doing? And I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. And next thing you know, he goes, I think, check the closet. And the guy opens the closet and he comes in, he looks around, he sees a flashlight, and then the door closes. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, another guy goes in the closet, but this time he closes the door and he listens and he stops breathing. And I have to stop breathing, but my heart is racing. I just ran from the police. I'm covered in mace. So I sit there and I hold my breath like this. I'm gasping for air at this point. I'm not lying. And I'm like, I won't take a breath. I'm just waiting for this dude to leave the closet. And I'm just like, I hear him take a breath. He's like, he leaves the closet door closes. I'm like, oh my God. I'm able to take a breath. I'm like, closet door opens again. It's so quiet in there. They close the door again. They listen. They hold their breath. I hold my breath. Flashlight shining around. I'm sitting in the corner of the closet just like, no, like what am I doing? Like, the state police are trying to get me. I'm in the corner of a closet. It's a true story, man. True story. Ask anyone I know that's told this. Like, so I'm sitting there like, just like, oh God. I can remember the fear. I can remember just like the craziness in my mind. Like, how are you going to get out of this? Like, what makes you think? But that's me, man. I will go to the end of the end of the end. Like, if there's 1% left, I'll still believe I can get out. You know, like, I have such a hopeful mind. And I was just sitting there just like, yo, I'll take this to the end. So door closes again. Next thing, the guy comes back in. And he's like, and this is funny, man. He had an Irish brogue. I'll always remember this. And he goes, now mace has an orange stinky smell. And he goes, I can smell the mace. He's in the closet. Tear the closet apart till you find the fucker. And I hear his Irish accent. Tear the closet apart till you find the fucker. And I'm like, holy shit. And I hear them. They start moving the snowboards. And they're coming. And they're coming closer and closer and closer. And they have a baton out. 2 big lights. Dude's got gun pulled. They got guns drawn. They don't know if I'm going to shoot them in the closet. They had balls going in that closet. They could have died, right? What if I went and unloaded on them? Like, they didn't know what I was doing. These guys were out of their minds, right? Pretty crazy dudes if you think about it. Going into a black closet, not knowing what the hell's in there. And thank God I didn't get killed. They said to me, thank God we were going to shoot your ass. They told me numerous times. They said, if we were Boston police, your ass would have been dead. You're so lucky we were highly trained state police, they said to me. Because if this was Boston police, you would have been shot in that closet. They told me to my face. They batoned with my neck once they found me. Shone a light in my face, batoned with my neck to knock me down and out. Dragged me out the closet. Put my hand on my neck, on the ground, you know. Beat the hell out of me numerous times. You stupid. Because they were mad. Like, once they saw I was like a white kid, you know, see, they were Irish. They saw I was like a regular, not even white. Let's just say once they saw I was just a kid running from some weed, they were like, damn. They looked up my name and they saw I had no priors. They thought I was a murder suspect. They said, we've never seen someone run like that. They said, we only see people run like that when they have like they're going to go to jail for 10 years. Like, they have 10 warrants. They're like, we would have given you a ticket for $100 smoking some weed in the park, guy. It wouldn't have been that serious. I didn't know at the time, and I was afraid. My dad was a scary guy. I didn't want to come home in trouble. So anyway, it went to court. It was assault and battery on a state trooper, okay? Assault and battery on a state trooper. I threw a state cop into a wall, basically, as he tried to cover me with mace. And he had to make it look like I bodied him because he basically lost balance. And I was 180, maybe, I don't know, man. Who knows? I had been in many, many street fights at the time. I could handle myself a little bit. I was skinny, but I was lean. Somehow I got this guy on the ground. He was like 5'6", 5'7", like 190 pounds. He was all muscle. I remember him coming at me like a little pit bull. And so what happened was I went to see the judge. Now, the judge had went to my high school, which is Boston Latin. It's one of the oldest high schools in the country. It's well known. And it basically has a really good history. It's the oldest public high school in America. You can Google it. It's one of the top 50 schools in the United States for an education, really. One of the greatest high schools in America. No lie. Boston Latin School. And the judge was like, I went to Latin, and I've never seen someone from Latin here. And he goes, you don't belong here. You don't deserve being here. And if I see you here again, I'm going to throw the book at you. And outside, there was an Irish lawyer, and he took our case, and we got continued without a finding. I was supposed to get a probation officer. I didn't even. He called the house one time and said, how's Sam doing? And I talked to him and said, yeah, I'm doing all right. He said, oh, okay. I never had a visitation. I never got pee tested, even though they caught me with marijuana. And you don't think that's white privilege? I don't know. I was told to go talk to the, my mother had, my family was also, maybe it's not even white privilege. It also was connections, right? My family is also U.S. Marshals. I have U.S. Marshals in my family. So my mother's father's brother was a U.S. Marshal. His son is also a U.S. Marshal. So she made a phone call, and he made a phone call, and they told me to go see a judge. Yeah, but you have to understand, if you were a minority in the city running from the police, there's a chance I never would have made it to trial, man. There's a chance I would have been killed in the line right then. I don't know. For you to tell me that, but the connection got me out of the end result. I did no time. I did nothing happened to me. It was a slap on the wrist. It went away. You had a dad. That's a good start. Yeah. It's more the school you went to and the connection, bro. If you were black, you'd be telling the same story as police brutality. Still not. White privilege did not exist. Really? Interesting. I don't know, man. In my opinion, I know I had friends that were black, and I had friends that did the same things that I did, and they were in probation, and they were going through way more pain than I was. Because I was a white Irish kid in Boston, I had an assault and battery on a state trooper, possession of marijuana. Like, it was all there. I got caught red-handed, and then I had a resisting arrest, creating a public disturbance because they had to block off a city street. Like, they had multiple charges on me. Like, a lot of people went to juvenile hall for stuff like that. Like, I walked away without even, like, it was sweet. Like, I walked away with nothing, you know? They did assault the crap out of me. It is true, yo. Yo, I'll tell you what they do to you when they arrest you. 250-pound dude standing on my back. This is my arm. This is the wall. I mean, this is the floor. He's standing on my back telling me, give me your arm. I said, sir, I can barely speak because you're stepping on my back, sir. And he's like, give me your arm, you little pussy. You weren't so tough when you were running, huh? Weren't so tough back then, right? And I was like, sir, sir, I can't move my arm because you're stepping on my back. And he's stepping on my back so hard that I can't get my arm from the floor. Yet he's slapping me in the head and repetitively asking me to hand me my arm. And I'm like, sir, like, I don't know what you want me to do, but you're making it physically impossible for me to give you your arm. And then you're beating me because I'm not giving you my arm, dude. And I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing, man? Like, I said out loud, I said, sir, like, I can't give you my arm because you're standing on my back, sir. Like, then they arrested me, took my head. I'm not lying. They bring me up the stairs because I ran down the stairs. They took my head and pushed it against the wall and rubbed my face against the wall as they brought me up the stairs. Made sure that my face, like, hit all the little nicks and anything in the drywall, or just kind of, you know, almost my eye almost got hit a few times. Like, yeah, I guess I shouldn't get into it, but what a crazy story, right? Back on topic. Bitcoin at 17,919. Only trade I'm in right now is Atom. I'm not in anything else. So I'm kind of just hanging out, waiting for things to kind of clear. Now, we said Lend was popping. Lend it back to 7180. Yeah, it had a nice retrace, but wow. Yeah, 67 all the way back up to 72.5. Uniman, FTM. Okay, you can't bail, man. Bail on what? Dude, LOL. I'm confused, guys. Then why isn't this Marxist construct called majority privilege? I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I mean, then why isn't this Marxist construct called majority privilege? Whites are higher in population and majority. I agree with that. Because, like, you know, like, look at me. I live in Boston. You can be white, but there's Irish privilege in Boston. I'll be honest with you. There's Irish privilege. You may be Italian, and the Irish cop's going to lock you up. But he's not going to lock up the Irish, bro. He's going to call his dad and bring him home. I'm just saying. So there is majority privilege. It's when there's more of one thing in one area. There's privilege for that, I think. Boston was a majority Irish city for however long, right? So because of that, you're going to have a little more privilege if you were Irish in Boston. It's just the facts. It's just like being somewhere else, right? Yeah, it is tribalism. I agree with you on that. I don't know where you're coming from, so I wanted to just, like, and I also don't want to get attacked. It's kind of like a very sensitive topic, right? I start losing subscribers if I say one wrong word, and I really just, like, probably shouldn't even be going there, honestly. I got to keep it crypto, you know? But you guys are like my family. Every once in a while we have a day where we kind of let it out, right? I didn't sleep a lot, so that's probably why you're getting this side of me. Anyway, let's look at ARPA. Would I touch an altcoin right now? I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing some bullish divergence. Nah, not really. No, I'm not, actually. We're de-evolving, LOL. Oh, Jesse, man, me and you will be connected forever. Ever since that night, you know, I was so scared that night you called me. Honestly, I thought you were trying to scam me. I mean, because you were like, I just got scammed, and it was you. And I was like, I sat there and I was like, oh, this is what happens. Like, you get subscribers, and like 3 or 4 of them actually are in a clan, and they basically all said that I scheme on them, and then and I was like, can you give me a call? And I was like, super stoned, sitting here like, oh, like, I don't know if I can give you a call. Like, what is this guy? And then we called, and like, you were the coolest dude in the world. And so I feel like we connected in like kind of a pretty, for me, you know, it was a pretty crazy situation, you know. Hey, I felt like it was the right, you know, you challenged my moral compass at that point. I'll be honest, because I was like, do I really want to, like, what does this guy want from me? Like, I just started a YouTube channel. Like, I didn't scheme nobody. Like, what does he want, you know? And you were like, could you give me a call? And I was like, and then I was like, you know what? Be positive. Take a deep breath. Like, he probably just needs some reassurance. He wants to look you in the face. He wants to get a feeling of what's going on, I guess. You know, I was like, you know what? I'll show and prove, I guess, if that's like what I had to do. And I did it, right? So definitely could have blown you off and been like, dude, I don't want to do no conversations with anybody. But I just felt like your pain, and I took a shot, and you actually being one of the coolest people I ever met. So, and you've taught me a lot in many different things. So, Dow Jones Industrial forming a beautiful bull flag on the 1 minute, about to pop. So, doing well. Will we see that all-time high of 30K? It's very, very possible. No, I appreciate it, Jesse. And that's a good story for anybody. Like, go on a limb. Like, that was a crazy night for me. I'm not going to get into the whole story because, you know, but, yeah, now Jesse's like a chart beast. I don't get it. He claimed he had trouble trading before he met me. I don't believe it. But that's what he claimed. I need Jesse to do like a video tutorial for my channel, because he's always like, yo, man, the one-on-one changed me. He's like, get a one-on-one if you're having issues. Like, you know. I'm also thinking I'm going to charge students, start charging $75 an hour for the tutoring, because, you know, I started talking to my therapist the other day, and he was saying, you know, I think you're charging too little for the tutoring. That's what he said to me. And I said, why? He's like, well, because, you know, this is knowledge that you've gained over a long period of time. And if people are really serious, then they don't mind. And I was like, yeah, but I like giving people a discount, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, yeah, well, he made a point to me about a Johnny Walker bottle. And he said, there's a Johnny Walker bottle that everyone buys for Christmas. And it was like $110. Everyone bought it for Christmas. And we're going to look up Sun Hydrogen for you. Everyone bought it for Christmas, and they would give it to a family member. And this is OTC market, man. This is a tiny little coin. Sun Hydrogen. I don't like playing penny stocks, but OTC penny stocks, not really my thing. Let's see it, though. I see what you're saying, though. It had the big pop. It looks a lot like Key. You ever see Key? It looks a lot like Key. Completely lost my train of thought. I mean, we were talking about something. Anyway, this is Key at 2 cents. Sun Hydrogen. Let's take a look at the... I feel like I taught you guys everything. You could do what I do. What do I know that you guys don't know at this point? Right? 4 hours says it wants to roll over, right? Yes, I will chart YF die. I'll do that right away. I need to know. I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, 'cause I need to know. I need to know. Looks like it's doing well. My account's up on that, so sitting pretty at about 19, right? Okay, so let's finish this hydrogen, Sun Hydrogen OTC play. You're right, though. It's forming downwards. It's at the 706, the secret fib, playing off a Fibonacci level there. Some support and resistance, not much. See, that's what I'm worried about is, okay, you have a little support and resistance right there at this line, kind of making the price want to stop there. So you hit it here, and now you're back here hitting it yet again. It's a range. I'm going to draw a line, but it's more like a box, you know. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes it's a box, like, you know, it's just something like this. It's not necessarily an exact line, but it's a range area that we're bouncing from. So we are bouncing from this range. 4 hour wants to roll over, but we are coiling up, so it's telling you that not much wants to happen. You want to verify bullish divergence, right? That's what you're going to do. Basically do the same thing every time, guys. I guess you guys just like me doing it for you, but you could do this. Trust me, you can do this, Hadouken. Can I get it on the trading discount before you raise the price? Haha. Can't blame me for trying. You know what? You can, because by you saying that, it means that you value my value, and that makes me feel good. And I care more about approval than money because I have some mental issues. So, you know, as a kid, I was always trying to get approval from my parents and stuff, and I think I was left to my own basis a lot. And now, like, I found that I'm always trying to get approval more than money. So, like, if someone tells me that I made them a great trader, I feel way better than if I made $100 off them, right? So your comment just kind of earned you the $50. I have to be honest, because I'm a softie. I'm really not a great businessman. I need to be harder. That's why my therapist was like, dude, you know, you're paying to see me, like, you know. And he was thinking, like, okay, money is a form of approval. Interesting. Thank you, Colin. Dude, you guys are smart, man. You guys make really cool connections for me. I feel like without you guys, I'd be lost in the sauce. I don't even know where I'd be at. Anyway, I haven't even seen how many people are watching today. Never asked for a like, you know. I just didn't even think about it because I don't know, man. To me, see, like, if I was business orientated, I'd be like, please hit the like button. See? Like, if I was business orientated, I'd be like, oh, there we go. 14 of you guys hit the like button. We got 2 dislikes. That's amazing. Whoever did that, good for them, huh? They got it out of their system today. I'm happy I was the one that I could do that for them. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I don't stress, man. Stress is just whack. Stress leads to pain. Pain leads to cancer. And I don't want cancer, so I don't want stress. Anyway, I had no idea we had this many people. They used to say that money was canned energy or precious energy. Yeah, I mean, it's your work kind of bottled up into a little can, right? Like, look here, I made $600 today doing this, yada, 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 right? So what do we see happening for Bitcoin? Well, like I said, the first time we roll down, we go up. All right, the first time we crash completely, okay? RSI resets. Then we make it above the 200-day moving average, and we go below it a little bit, right? We showed this to you earlier today. I drew it for you guys. And then we come back down. But at this point, when the RSI gets oversold, usually it doesn't go as low as it could before, because this is kind of, you get what's happening? As this strings out and the price gets up, the lower lows get get higher. So now we're at a place where it looks like we want to curl. Looking like we may not get into the oversold region at all. The demand looks like it's pushing the price back up. And again, here we go down below the 200 a little bit. Now you go down a little bit. Now the next time, I'm going to show you guys some really key insight here. Now the next time, see how the 200 moving average is moving? The next time we pump off, if we do get to oversold, and we get down, the next time we pump up, it'll be nice to see us pump up. And what you want to see now is a bounce off the 200. You don't want to go below it anymore. And yeah, it does. I believe that, Kelly, with all my heart. I really do. Just ask Love Learning, man. Connected with her on a very deep level. You know, I thought she was just going to be someone I was going to tutor. We ended up having like a 3 to 4 hour conversation. Like, I couldn't, almost every time we talk, it's impossible for us to get off the phone. It's like we're kindred souls. I know me and Love Learning could talk for like 5 hours. I say something, she says something. The conversation is so smooth. She compliments something I say. She knows a lot of the things I know. So if I bring up if I bring up alien stuff, like, I did MUFON for years, and I've Googled, UFO research. That was a big thing in my life for a long time. I did UFO research, MUFON, all that stuff, Communion, right? The book Communion. And like, I just know she knows a lot of the same subject matter. It's like, she knew all the same YouTubers she watched. Like, it just, you know what it is the algorithms are bringing people that I know are already like me to me, which is really cool about YouTube. So you can use YouTube, and it's not, you don't want to surround yourself with yes men, right? But the idea is that you want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals that believe in what you believe in, so you can move forward as a team, right? I want to change the contrast right now because I feel like I could be a little more colorful, and I feel like I'm a little washed out. What do you guys think? Ooh, that's not good. We want to go up with the contrast. We want to turn me into a gray bar. I just feel washed out. And being like a video editor guy, I want to be a little more solid. That looks better to me. Take the brightness down maybe a little bit. Only thing happens though, it puts a hole in my head sometimes when I bring the contrast too low. That's not too bad. We'll apply that. Yeah, I basically worked in editing for years. So, the visual representation medium of video has been part of my life for a long time. So whenever I see video, it is putting that hole in my head though when I move forward now. So annoying, man. It's always something. Always something. If I stand back, it's not as good, but then I can't see as well. Where are my glasses? And then so on and so forth, right? Anyway, what a crazy night. Barely slept last night, honestly. And to see Bitcoin back at 17,700 is pretty funny to me. Even after that crash, we should have crashed. To me, that should have been the crash, or the crashes. I can't believe I'm still in a leveraged trade right now. Pretty funny. I'm going to hold a leveraged trade. I think it's going to kind of keep moving up. I'm going to play with this idea that we're going to keep resetting and playing off of the 200-day moving average, because I'll back test it for you. This is what it is. It's the first time we go really low, then we break above the 200-day moving average. Here was a smaller break, but similar idea. Then you come down below. Then you come up, then you come down a little bit below. And then this should have been a bounce. If it's not a bounce, that's bearish too as well, right? Again, here we break up, we break down below, we come up, we break down below, we come up, and then you see, here we get really low. Here we get really low below the yellow line. I'm just watching price below the yellow line. And then the third time, see, first time, second time, third time we bounce. We almost just don't get that low and we bounce. So that's what I'm thinking here. Look, first time we're really low on the yellow line. Second time we're super low. Third time we're not as low. We should get a bounce. And then if we get up here and we get our final bounce, the 200-day moving average should move up and we should bounce right off of it. And that will propel us back into 18K. So when people say that the 1 minute is garbage, I disagree. 15 minute about to fly, right? So as BS Social Swap. Everyone shout out BS Social Swap. Dude's unreal. Dude, is you a woman or a girl? Sorry to say that, because you never expressed whether you're a man or a woman, and I don't want to call you a he or she. I think you're a man. Pretty sure you're a guy. Most traders are guys. I'm sorry to say that. It sounds sexist, but it's just true. We need more women crypto traders out here. Shout out to Kelly. Man, huh? Yeah, babe. Okay, babe. Now, CVC hit my stop loss. That's why you play it close to the bone. Is it about to pop now? We do see hidden bullish divergence now on the 15-minute. What do you think, BS Social Swap? Entry for CVC? This is kind of how we do it, right? We're about to have a cross. We're about to have a cross. Things are about to move up. Bullish divergence as well. I call you on the phone to close it. Oh, that's why you called me. I saw that the phone call, and I was like, why is this? I did see the missed phone call. I appreciate that, man. Oh, don't worry. I closed it. I don't need you to call me, man. I got you. I'm a big boy. I appreciate you doing that. I really do. I did call you back. You see that I called you back, but then I realized it was like really late at night when I called you back. So I was like, isn't that crazy? People, my subscribers can call my phone. Like, this is nuts. The world that we live in, like how connected we all are now at this point. Way different than even 5 years ago, 4 years ago. 100 ways to connect to people. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, I saw that the inverted head and shoulders will fail and go for wave 5. Now, you did well. Well, I was asking you, what do you think about an entry now on the 15-minute for a scalp? Maybe back up to 9.3. Just this gap. See if we can gap up. Just trying to get your opinion here. 6% gains, it's saying on a gap up. Uni better to me now, and FTM also. Okay, let's take a look at Uni. So let's work a trade as a group. Let's work the trade of the day as a group. You're saying Uni. I'm telling you, man, BS Social Swap's been really good. He gave me a few calls. Now, let me look at Uni too. Now, 15-minute. Yeah, we see no bullish divergence, but beginning to bounce off, right? YFI. Yeah, I like YFI. I was in YFI at 17. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, back to 23. Yeah, you're right. It is bouncing off the 200-day moving average as well. Very interesting. Let me get back to Uni and focus on Uni. Uni at 342. Let me take an idea. Let's build the story. Let's build a story for Uni. Let's really look at it and see. So Uni pumps all the way up. Okay. Then goes down to the dumps. Pumps all the way up. Gets into the game. Comes back down. Everyone gets their free Uni. They figure out where to sell it, right? It gets pumped back up here to 5. People get in and out. Eventually, everyone sells their Uni. They figure, why not? It's best time to sell. Best time to sell. Bitcoin's starting to coil up. So I think it's about to have an explosive move. Anyway, so, and then we have our oversold region. We got as low as 171. Wow. Already up 131% from that. And then we would retrace. Healthy retrace. Let me delete my old work here and see where support and resistance lies. And you can clearly see that previous support, we had resistance here, and now we have resistance. Now we have support bouncing right off this region at 351. We got wicked down to 340. Yeah, bouncing off this region at 341. Sorry, 342. We did get wicked. Again, the daily doesn't give you a lot of information. It tells you that we're going to roll over, a little oversold. But let's get down to the 6 hour and give me a better idea. Yeah, we are respecting the 200-day moving average here on the 6 hour. And it looks like we may get some pink coming. Let's see what you're saying. 26K coming. On until should come down now. Should come down now a little on the 15-minute to create bullish divergence. Stock already on top. Oh, yeah, let me switch back to I added a stock template with you because... So stock's on the bottom. So you enter on the 15-minute with the stochastics. Tell me how you use the stochastics because I don't use stochastics. So tell me how you would use the stochastics. Let me know. I got them open right now. You're telling me you watch them on the 15-minute and use that for entry? Are you going on a leverage trade, spot trade? And what's your idea for the trade? Wow, Uni would go all the way to 326 this morning on that blowdown. That was the dip, honestly. Hard to tell that was the dip, but we had to sit there on the 1 minute to figure that out, right? I'm keeping this leverage trade open. It's still up 13%. So I was up 40 at one point, but yeah, I still think we're going to get back up as I showed you kind of what's happening to Bitcoin on the 1 minute. See now, lower, and then we bounce off of the 200-day moving average. That's usually the sign. Look, low, and now you start to bounce off the 200-day moving average. The stochastic still needs some room to turn though, right? Use the same strategy as you do, 1 to 4 hour. Just check the Stokes. If he's not on the bottom, I do not enter. Yeah, so you check the 4 hour. 4 hours on the bottom, so that's good to go. RSI ready to go, right? So Stokes are good, RSI is good. So the 4 hour looks like a great entry. But it looks like we could get more pain down to the 200-day moving average, which is some room, right? 340. I think we could get down to 320. What do you think? Yeah. 1 hour is also good. So then we look at the 1 hour. 1 hour still look great, right? About to have a turn. You're right. 1 hour looks amazing, and we're wicked up. And that's usually the first time we go below the 200-day moving average. We're going to get back above it. This trade's starting to look better to me. Okay, let me look at your Telegram. There's another great thing. Join the Telegram group, guys. I think once I hit 100 people, I'm going to charge for entry because there's too much value in there. I've taught too many people one-on-ones in the group. And so now we have a really strong group of people and it's growing every day, 65 members. So when I think of this, nice trade on that futures, 20x leverage from 5 to 530. Wait, did that just happen? That has to be Adam, right? Waves. Wow, Waves just made a move again. Damn, man. I wish you would call that out in the live. Yeah, if you're in a trade like that, let us know. Try to let us know about the entry. But nice trade, man. That's huge. 103% on Waves. Does that qualify as a diamond pattern? No, it does not. No, not at all. Yeah, it kind of did. I mean, I made a diamond pattern out of that, but it's, you got to go to an earlier time frame. Yeah, it's too jumbled up. So yes, it is. I'm answering Abzilla if she's here. I need a trade. I'm getting bored and don't know what to pull the trigger on. It's going to be Uni. Come to the live stream, dude. You know, Muser at the pool, dude. That's dope. Blue Tile, loving life, man. Paid for my plane ticket trading yesterday, so it's going well. Look at that. That's lovely. Enjoy. Thanks. Keep the profits, man. Are you trading from the beach? Was looking at Mana. What a crazy project. And it's on Coinbase. Crazy. Yeah, man is nuts, man. Decentraland, dude. It's out of control. Yeah. Are you trading from the beach, Muser? I love this. Is it the bottom where you fall? We're getting stuff in the Telegram. We're getting stuff in this. Okay, so Marafro, you're Abzilla. Okay, it took me a second to put all that together. I'm so sorry. I think you've told me before too. But again, remember, I'm on no sleep. So I'm not at my optimal. Okay, so what if Bitcoin rolls over though on Uni? Let's see. You sent it to me. Getting so much information all the time. It's absolutely insane. Overload. I got to do swipe today. There's a voter fraud channel here on Telegram. I just thought it was funny to see what people are saying, but there's a lot of crazy information in here. You spend an hour in here and you start believing there's voter fraud pretty hard. So I don't know. I'm open-minded. My wife says, come on, man, it's the mail. Like, you don't think this fraud, you're dumb, right? She kind of made it real simple to me. But anyway, possible entry before entering. Wait for 15 minutes bullish divergence on CVC. So you want to see this. I see what you're saying, little head and shoulder action. I like how you're getting ready for that idea. 5:20 a.m. And our CVC looks like it will form from this area, inverted head and shoulders, right? And now he has CVC, possible entry before entering. Wait for the 15-minute bullish divergence. And this is what happens, man. Look at this. This guy sends me personal charts to me now, just to me. You should put them to the group, man, so everyone can see them. But I appreciate that you're helping me out. So Waves, you called the Waves trade. I didn't take it. So I didn't wake up and look at you. I didn't see these. Uni. So you're getting Uni down at the bottom here. Looks like it could pump. I see what you're saying. FLM. You think it'll come up? We could trade it up to here, then we have to get out, then it will come back up, and then we can trade it back up again. This guy's smart, man. His plays have really played out. Inverted head and shoulders he's looking at. Looks like we can get even higher. 26,000 out of YFI. So he's calling these calls. Hope you not took yet loss. Yeah. On Civic. No, I sold it, man. I sold it down. And I would have been down even more anyway, so don't worry about it. Yeah, look at, he's sending me, he's hooking up the crypto lifer, man. Dude, he hooked us up. I forward these into the channel, right? Like, yeah, just throw these in the channel, man. I appreciate you giving them to me personally, though. I mean, I guess people feel like they want to give me value, right? Let's forward this message into my channel. Yeah, see, logistics, infrastructure, rental, tech and research, automotive. This is sharing. Crypto payments, institutional funds, rewards, products, charity, travel, flights, insurance, accommodations. Like, this is nuts. Take you to the patrons of the moon. Waves looks more bullish than Bitcoin at the moment. Full send. That was at 10 a.m. And so he called it. So there's two people gave me the waves trade, and I didn't take it. So, you know, I'm sitting there playing leverage trades, talking to you guys about getting arrested. I should be focused. Buying a bag of UI here. Already locked in partnerships with Ferrum Network and Dex. I've already listed on CMC, CoinMarketCap, lock liquidity over 6K currently for 6 months, and with only 9K circulating supply. Chart looks good too. Wow, small circulating supply. Put that on your radar. YUI. I don't know if it's a rug pull though, so just be careful. I don't want to be promoting things that could get you hurt. So just remember that, you know. But just to put it up on your radar, Waves looking really nice today. Is it still selling some Bitcoin here until we break the 18.5 high again? Smart idea, right? Like then he'll get back in at 18.5. Looks like Root will start market buying soon. How much they were priced to pump? If we say the vaults will start market buying with ETH every 10 minutes. Interesting. That's interesting. Root ETH liquidity pair is on Uniswap. If Bitcoin goes up another 10% from here, we make a new all-time high. Yeah, I don't recommend sleeping for the next 24 hours. No, I didn't. I barely did, right? That's pretty funny, right? So let's focus in. Let's hone in now on the trade at hand. Bitcoin to me, I want to get back into Bitcoin for a second. Actually, I want to focus on Uni and Bitcoin. So let me duplicate this. I want to be able to go back and forth pretty fast. So let's hone in on the trade. When you're trading, you got to create an idea of where you want to enter, and then you have to wait for the entry to occur. That's the most key way to trade. If you're not doing that, you're using too many emotions, and you're not using the chart, and you're going to end up losing money, okay? Now, you always want to draw a pattern, and you only want to buy at the bottom of the pattern. So right now, this represents an okay buy. I would have liked to get into the wick at 330. To me, like, I missed a lot of the move. And the reason why I say that is because once you start perfecting entries, you know what the best is. And if you've done the best, like, you know, a couple times last week, then you know that you should be doing the best all the time. Now, if I got in on the wick, and my 3% stop loss would be like something like here. And there'd be a really high chance that it's not going to get hit. Also, with the stochastics about to turn on us on the 1 hour, things look really good. So now you're looking for 15-minute pump up, but the 15-minute stokes are up now. Waves is in base 5 of parabola. Should have sell point soon and exit of the trade. Yeah, I'm not in the Waves trade. Thank you for telling us that. So he's got the Elliott wave. That's what I'm missing. He brings that in and really combines it all. But he combines it well with my system. So he kind of like meshes well with me. BS Social Swap, man. Unreal. And you know, yesterday he said, can I share what you told me, man? Is that okay? Is that okay if I share? But I said, bro, like, you gave me an amazing trade. You helped me out so much. Thank you so much. And you know what he said? If I can share it. He said, I really want to share it, man. Because you like kind of... What he said here? Man, I'm glad I have you. And that Moon Send Your channel and his group. You changed my view of everything. Like, that to me, like... That I got emotional, man. I changed your view of everything. Like, just go share, man. Yeah. So I just want to say I appreciate you so much, Social Swap. You do a lot for the channel. So where do we enter Uni, man? You make the call. You make the call right now, right? I'm exhausted, so I'm running on fumes. God damn, I love this group. I had no idea he was going to say that. I was like, oh, wow, thanks for the call. And he's like, you changed my... I'm waiting to go down. Yeah, so the Stokes, right? We want this, don't we? We want the 15-minute Stokes to go down. That's what he's teaching me. We want to be here. So we want to buy here. So it's going to have to kind of double... We're going to have a double bottom, right? And that's going to be our entry. 32.23. Yeah, and what I have there, I have 333. So you think we could go lower on the wick? You're saying all the way down to 323. So do we open this up then and project that we haven't hit the bottom yet, like, or something like this? I mean, this tells me we're moving our way back up top, and we can only I don't see us breaking the trend line though. I don't know. I think this could continue up. That's what's weird about it to me. You know? Honing on a uni. And what else did you say? You had another trade. Was it you had another trade, social swap. Shout out to everyone on the stream today. Really appreciate you guys coming in. Morofro, swap, YFI. Oh yeah, you were saying YFI is going to go to 26. Let's take a look at that. YFI, man, I perfected the entry at 17,270. I perfected it. I got stopped out on that shady wick, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth ever since, man. Because I should be up a huge amount at this point, and I'm not. And it's kind of like, damn. Like, I made all the right moves. I just got wicked out. Was it this shady wick? No, it's like, you'll see it. It's somewhere down in there, or up in here somewhere. I guess you can't see it. It was on the 1 minute. It was like so weird, man. So first thing I'm going to do is draw a pattern. Is it in a bullish pattern? And I have to say, yes, it is. It's in a bit of a bull flag. Also, with the 200-day moving average forming as the bottom of the bull flag, and now it broke out, and you can say that's a retest. It broke out with a retest to the top of the pattern on the 15-minute. Stokes need to curl, though, right? So this says like it should come back down. So that makes me want to do this then. Hold on. Not done yet. Come on. Come on. I hit the plus sign like 6 times. It keeps drawing tiny little dots. Like, come on, man. So anyway, looks like this is what's going to happen. We're going to come back down to the bottom of the pattern here on the 15-minute. And that's going to be our entry at 21.47. What do you think about that? Yeah. That's why I moved it up. Yeah, I agree with you 100. See, me and you, man, we're having the same thoughts at the same time. You know, by me putting this up, I'm saying it's not a real breakout. It's a fake out. And by you saying that, you're basically giving me confluence for the same idea. So we should come back on. So we're waiting. So you enter on the 15-minute low Stokes. Am I right? You look at the 4-hour. You make sure the Stokes are low. So the 4-hour on YFI, Stokes aren't too low yet. Although they're high, they could cross. I don't use Stokes a lot. I don't know if you can get in on a mid Stoke or not. 1 hour looks amazing though. Wow. So the 1 hour looks like we got a double bottom ready to fly. This is really weird. We're getting some mixed signals here. 1 hour looks good. 4 hours says overbought, wants to curl down. So you're saying the 1 hour could project us to 26. That would also then make the 4 hour roll over. Is that what you're trying to give us? Because that's my plan or my idea. I don't think I'm going to trade this though, honestly. I don't know if I'm feeling it. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it. Yeah, so just ask me one question though. You used the 15-minute to enter? Yeah, but do you use the 15-minute to enter the Stokes? Like, are you waiting for the Stoke to come down here on the 15-minute, which would then bring it back to the bottom of the pattern, which get us in at 21,000? Is that what you're talking about? It's so funny, man. Anyway, 9 days of protest in Denmark. I feel like we gotta. This is worth showing you guys. They're trying to make them. 9 days of protest are over. A new law would be able to define groups of people who must be vaccinated. People who refuse the above can be coerced through physical detainment, with police allowed to assist. Imagine being shoved by police while they stick a freaking needle in your arm. I thought you said Waves was done and you should sell a profit. You're confusing me. You're confusing me over here. You're like, hey, sell waves. It's on wave 5 correction. And then you're like, no, wait, waves is going. You got to talk to me a little different. I'm not like a waves guy. You know, I don't do the Elliott waves like waves does over here, you know. Damn, though. I had waves drawn right there. I had waves drawn right there. I got into waves at like right here. I got into waves at $3. I sold it when it came up to here. I was like, oh, good trade. Took my profits, right? I should try to let like 1 out of 4 run, take profits on, and just always let 1 run. FLM. So let's scalp it. Let's get ready to scalp it. Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't have a lot of trades open, so I can really focus. You called it FLM or FTM. FLM, right? Flim flam. Flimmy flam flom. Ooh, Stokes look really good on the 4 hour. Wow. So this is what you do. You say usually a double bottom though, right? So we might get a double bottom here. So we want to wait. This is what you're saying. We're looking at the right one? No, FLM coin going for wave 5 up. Look at the 1 hour. Okay. 1 hour oversold on the RSI. Right? Stochastics are going up though. See, that's why I don't like using stochastics. I just use RSI and this, and it kind of gets me through. Like, made many good trades without ever using the stochastic RSI.
More art?
Let me see. This is going on variable. Wow, this one's really good. You added another girl? I like your little her little stamps. She's got these cool little stamps. Up here, see them? This one's interesting. And remember, you got to put a Bitcoin symbol on every picture. The B with the 2 lines, right? Remember that, because that way it's going to turn it into crypto art, okay? And that's going to actually give it its value. Put it on her purse or on her shirt. Can I add it? Can I show you how it's added? Can I put it on her shirt? So she's going to be in a circle. It's always in a circle. And then we have a B. I did a horrible job. This pen isn't that great at doing it. We're going to have to do it together with something more sharp. But this is good. This is a good beginning. Very good. We could give her Bitcoin earrings. Stuff like that. We'll accessorize the girls in your pictures with Bitcoin accessories. And I'm telling you right now, that's going to bring some value to that. Did you show her the video of the no, I completely forgot. See, I never even remembered that. Gotta DM me. If someone, please DM me that, because I'll forget 100%. Whatever. I show things online. Like, for instance, if anyone ever watched my Uniswap stuff, and every time I do a Uniswap, I always show you, well, the coin's not here. You have to go to CoinGecko, copy the address, paste the address, and then you get the coin, right? Sam, when is support at 18? I send you the chart of FLM where I will look to enter. It kind of needs to go down a little more. That's what I was saying. Yeah. The 4 hour tells me that we're gotta, you know, let's see what this says here. And that's another reason why I have an edge on most traders too, is because I have people sending me trades all the time, right? So divergence indicator, yeah. Coming back down. Okay, so we'll watch it. We'll watch it. Stay close. Uni. See, this looks great to me on the 1 hour, right? MACD about to turn, RSI oversold, bouncing, and the stochastics. This tells me like it's a good trade all the way. I think we should enter Uni, man. You're saying no though. The Stokes up here say no. We're gonna double top. We are getting rejected by this line that I put out, so there's a chance that this becomes a bearish rejection. What coins are up today? I was exhausted. I had no idea I would stream this long, honestly. I barely made it to the computer this morning, no lie. So dot down was the play. Bitcoin Gold. I brought that up yesterday, right? I said these crazy coins are gonna pump, because they have Bitcoin on them. Yeah, Uni is perfect. Have support also right below the trend line. Yeah, I'm gonna enter Uni, guys. I'm gonna enter Uniswap. Okay, because even if the 15-minute rolls over, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna bring price down too much. So I think I'm gonna be good with getting into Uni. The 4-hour looks unreal. So I'm gonna take Uni down right now for a trade. All I need is Bitcoin to kind of stay sideways here, play games, not go up, not go down too hard. And yeah, do we play Uni up? What I'm gonna start doing is if I go in for like a $200, $2,000 position, I should go in for Uni up for another like couple hundred. Like, why not add to the bullishness? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Abzilla, incredible story of how Leopard Diablo becomes Spirit. Thank you for sending that. I'm gonna play this. We're gonna watch this today, me and my daughter. I haven't spent a couple days. I've been very busy, so I would have spent some time with my daughter today. It's going to be Uni, but remember, I'm not trading USDT. That's fine. Take the BTC pair. BTC Uni, bro. Take it, man. I'm telling you. We have inverted head and shoulders here. You can clearly see we're at the neckline. A bunch of bullish signs for me. I don't need to be told twice. So Uni's going to be our trade of the day. Smart trade with my Boston accent. Yeah, smart trade it. If you're not smart trading, you're dumb trading. So I don't know what you're doing there, dude. Right? You got to smart trade it out. Now, wow, Uni just pumped a little bit on a move there. So how much are we going to put in? 4,000 into Uni? Let's go with 29.50. Wow, Uni flying now. I have to chase it. I don't like chasing, but I don't mind. I can handle it. Stop loss at about, let's take the chart. So always going to use your chart for your stop loss every single time. So let's take a look at what's going on. Stochastics on that 4-hour about to roll. So see here I have a 3.5% stop loss to the 200-day moving average. I think the moving average is going to creep up as price creeps up. And this is going to get left to the wayside. That number is 318. Let's see how that suits me inside of the program. So 318, to me, it's a little too far. Puts me at too high of a risk. Now, I should only be risking $150 a trade. So I'm going to show you what happens here. This is how I do it. So basically, $150 a trade. It says the stop loss needs to be 0.789 or 0.0789, right? Which would be 0.789. 7.89, right? And that gives me a position of 1900. So I'm going too far with, so 1950 gives me the proper size of this entry. And thank you so much, BS Social Swap, for that. And if we get back up here to 358, it's very possible. That will be kind of where I'm going to look to either take profits. If we start to come back down, I will take profits. But if we break out, then I'll stay in the trade. And I'll raise my stop loss to break even and let it ride. So this is the idea for the trade. We're going to go into Uni right now. And again, we're not risking a lot. $150 every time. And we use an equation. If you didn't understand how I did that, I took 1%, divided it by my stop loss, and it gave me example, put 5K into futures and trade where you put 1,000, put 500 on 2x. Yeah, when you don't trade futures, you will have more fun. Why you don't trade futures? You will have more funds. Let me send you Uni under 5 minutes. This guy's like becoming like my personal mentor, man. Like, he's like hooking me up with like trading advice, when to get in, when, like, man, thank you so much, Social Swap. Is tomorrow a nice day for you? You choose the time. Remember, I'm Greenwich time. I have to figure that out. I'll send that to my scheduler, get my wife on that. My wife's become my manager because there's too much going on, and I'm not great at it, so I need help. Let's see what's going on now. Where are you, BS Social Swap? There you go. This is film. Oh, did you post it in the trading room then? Okay, you did. Yeah. I can't handle USDT trades. I'm a BTC maxi. Need more BTC. For sure. As am I, but what you can do is you can trade in USDT, and then when Bitcoin tanks, you can buy a chunk of it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you'll be all right. You'll figure it out for yourself. Anyway, so Uni, you think could come back down to 318 from the rising wedge. Interesting. On the 5 minute. So the 5 minute has a right. Let me just kind of like, let me bend that my way and your way, and we'll kind of see how we both come to that. Now, I disagree. I see an ascending triangle, which breaks out 90% of the time, basically, right? So I see something different than you see. Let's see. I see an ascending triangle. You see a rising wedge, but a rising wedge, to me, yeah, I guess we could do this, though. You're right. So it all depends if we want to use this line up or down. If this line's up, it's an ascending triangle. If this line's down, it does touch more. I like to go with more touches inside the pattern. So you're right. This could break down. The stochastics are telling us too that it's going to break down. So now I'm cautious. So what? Bitcoin price to buy Uni. I'm confused. Don't be confused. Just open up the program. Take it slow. We didn't get in yet though, so wait for a second. Just go to the Bitcoin price and it'll show you, and then just take the ask. That is almost 6% down. YF die. What's the deal, Sam? You said that was the moon. YF die. Yeah, it is. Why did it tank on me? No, I'm up nicely on that. We'll get into YF die if you want. Talk about it. We got to chart it for Jesse. I'm telling you, Bitcoin's going to go up. I'm going to keep this leverage trade open till we get back to 18.5, 18.450. Cross leverage. So with the margin 147, not a lot of money, 16x. This is just, I'm starting to get into margin trading, so I'm not gonna take a bunch of money and lose it as I start to trade. Rare case that blow up, that match. I see what you're saying. In a rare case, it will go up, but in the most part, yeah. So if we look at the Uni on the Stokes, we gotta wait. You're right. 5 minutes says we're gonna roll over. 1 minute says it's a great entry though. This is funny. Bottom of the pattern. See? So this is gonna come back up here, kind of do this again. That's bottom of the pattern entry in my opinion. It's the 15 minute though. It is gonna roll over soon. To me, that's just a little tiny move inside the pattern, but that Stoke is small, right? I don't know how to read the Stokes yet on the 15 minute. I'm telling you, the 1 hour looks great. So we could ladder in and then make a second buy. You know, we could ladder into two times. So I'm gonna make my first call right now at 1,000, and then if it works out, I'll go in for another 1,000. So this is the idea here. Uni in at 1,000. Now that stop loss could be way deeper, 15%, because I'm willing to lose 150. Actually, yeah, let's go to 77%, right? 320. And now we look for our target. What you think is going to happen is you're going to break out and get back up here to 421. You're going to have some resistance, strong resistance here at 387. So you're just taking some profits there. So I'm going to put 387 for now. I may change it. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to go into Uni at 342 for 1,000. Which is lower than the previous. Yeah, Yeah, and then what I'm doing is if it goes to 318, I'm gonna buy some more. Should I wait? You know what? I'll just rep. I'll rep patience right now, but something's telling me that I shouldn't. But I'm gonna rep patience. I'll watch the 15-minute and wait for the Stokes to come down, and I'll do the right thing. Wait for the Stokes to come down on the 15-minute. Get in at 326, 328. I think something like that. The lowest 327, something like that. When it came down, it will also create bullish divergence on the 15-minute. Ooh, slam dunk soon. Damn, look at ride as its warrant. Ride W. Yeah, man, ride's gonna make a move. I mean, think about it. Electric car. You're doing everything right. You're buying in the right space. Right? Lordstrom Motors. 29%. Look at that puppy flying. Nice call. The whole market's going to pump. I mean, they just keep putting money in there. And there you go. It's just basically what we teach, too, over and over again. We draw a pattern. You buy at the bottom of the pattern. Right? And then you ride in the blue cross in there. Then you get your second wave. And again, look below the 200-day moving average. Then we come up. Now if we reset, stochastic is going to do the double top. Might tell you that it's time to get out of the trade. Look at the 4-hour on the Stokes. They're going to double top soon. So that might be a nice trade to take at the exact resistance too. That's like textbook. You buy at the bottom here, you sell there. And I can even show you that that's how you get in with bullish divergence and bearish divergence. You can clearly see you have a swing down here in the price, but you have a swing up right here. And that tells you that that was your entry on the second hill down, boom. And then we do see a swing up in the price. So like, you don't even need wave theory in my opinion. See what I'm saying? Because I mean, I guess, but if you just keep taking the money on the smaller time frames and then just keep getting back in, right? So there's your bullish divergence entry. There's your bearish divergence exit. And that's how it works. 5 minutes says it wants some more though. So there's a chance. If it was me, I would be taking profits because that's how I do it. It's right at resistance. But nice play. Very well done. Very well done. Excellent. Nice call. Put that on everyone's radar. Lordstown Motors Corp. Ride, baby. They made a truck for the everyday man is what I'm hearing, right? So pretty interesting. FLM starting to flag on the 200-day moving average. To me, that's potential for a big move up. What do you think, BS? I mean, that is when the bottom of the pattern is the 200-day moving average. Kind of want to heed that warning, right? Tells me something's happening. Yeah, they merger with GM Motors. That's huge, dude. A merger with GM? Damn, man. I like to see GM back in there, man. You know, being from Irish Boston, everyone bought Chevy and GM here. It was like the Democratic way, you know. The Republicans would buy Fords and the Democrats would buy Chevys. You could tell if someone was a Republican or a Democrat just by the car they grew up in when I was a kid. If they pulled up in a Chevy, 9 out of 10 times they were a Democrat. They pulled up in a Ford, 9 out of 10 times they were Republican. It's pretty interesting. So Apple looks like it's about to fly as well. 1 minute about to have a move. If you want to make a scalp on that, Apple looking really hot to trot at the present moment. Let's go look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. See what's going on there. So see, we didn't make a trade. 3 hours. We're sitting here patience, because it's got to be right. We're not going to get into a trade and not make money. It's got to be right, right? So Walmart's doing all right, 150. LTO at 8.5. I sold it at around 8.56. Where did it got all the way as high as 9.4 though? Damn, not too long ago. So LTO pumped this morning, or yeah, in the middle of the night there, 3 a.m. LTO getting even more juice on the low. Interesting. The Dow up 37. Usually that means we'll have a negative day. Double top in here. Yeah. When the Dow's floating at 37 points right now, usually tells me, yeah, you know what it is? It's in this pattern. It's going to come back down to the bottom of the pattern. Just kind of clearly seeing. That puts the Dow at 25,000. So we could start to have a correction here for the Dow, honestly. That's what this is starting to show me. The daily Stokes are really high as well. Last time the Stokes were this high, came down. We went from 29 back to 20. So I'm calling a fall for the Dow. Midweek, Thursday into Friday. By Tuesday or Wednesday, we should be in full fall mode. And so prepare yourselves, man. Feels like the stock market's going to take a bit of a hit. Bitcoin may also, because Bitcoin's in a little overextended place as well. So Bitcoin gold on the 15-minute looking pretty righteous. Stocks are overbought though. I get what you're saying. You just keep playing with the stocks until they're lined up for you. Oversold, yeah. So this is going to roll over. Stokes tell you going to roll over too. Interesting. I'm going to start backtesting the Stokes a lot more now that I have them entered in. Only take me a couple days to really fine tune them. The more effort you put in, the faster you can add in tools to your arsenal. You'll be able to backtest them really well and then just kind of add them to your arsenal and be ready to move. So, Uni 343 starting to fall. Should maybe come and kiss this. Yeah, you're right. It should get pretty close maybe to the 200-day moving average. They should move up together and get a kiss. I think you're right. 323, that's going to be the entry. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the idea. I'm going to put a 323 entry, see if we can catch it. 323. We'll go in for 1,000 on that move. If that gets filled, then we'll double into the move. And that's kind of the plan, right? So 323 buy. Again, with a 7% stop loss at 3. We can leave this up here at 387 because that's where we eventually want to get out. And then we're going to create that trade. All limit orders. Everything's a limit there, as you can see. So we want to get into 323, stop loss at 303, take profit at 387. What was it saying though is you can buy the warrant for RIDE. Its ticker is called RIDE W. Yeah, I don't know what that meant, but multi-bagger merger with GM Motors just getting started. Yeah, but I just showed you that the Dow's about to tank. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm weary of the Dow of the stock market. I think it's overinflated. They're pumping it. I think it could affect everything. I'm still thinking there's going to be a huge crash soon. That makes me very wary. I think the companies are amazing, and I think there's all these awesome prospects, but I'm just worried about the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It doesn't bode well with a lot of confidence for me. It just doesn't make me feel like everything's great, you know? And it's sad because there's companies I want to invest in, but then I'm afraid because the Dow just doesn't look right to me, you know? But I shouldn't live in fear. I did say I was afraid. I shouldn't live in fear, but... So I'm going to be watching Uni all day, man. That's going to be my play, honestly. I think you can even put alert down here on the Stoke. I'll put a right click here, and I'll put an alert on the Stoke. See that? If the Stoke hits that line, so you put an alert right here on the Stokes. And if that comes down, I'm going to get an alert. That's the plan. Hi, Sam. Just setting up my MetaMask. Do you think dollar cost averaging into YFDI is a valid dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin? Thanks. Honestly, man, again, this isn't financial advice, right? They move in tandem, but sometimes the warrants move better. Interesting. I had no idea what a warrant was. You just schooled me. So I'll have to Google that now because I never let myself not know something. Let's get into YFDI now that you're talking about it. I think we need to go to CoinTrader Pro to get it up on the radar. And sometimes even CoinGecko doesn't have the price right. I'll be honest. You really just got to go to Uniswap and see how much it's flipping for ETH. Right now, I think it's above 4 ETH. So, and as ETH fluctuates in price, we'll see. Goes on. So we're talking about YFDAI. I'd like to get a Google search on that. Wow, so it's been spiking, huh? Went as high as 224, got rejected on the daily. It is high on the Bollinger Bands, and what I think right now is it's going to have a bit of a pullback. right? Because it's getting overbought on the daily. Soon it will be very overbought on the daily, and the MACD's crossing, right? So it tells me it's getting a little overbought at this point, right? I don't know if I'd FOMO into it at this point. We also see some bearish divergence happening. We have swing up to swing up and swing low to swing low. It could pop a little more. The 4 hour wants to roll down too. So every time frame is looking bearish to me on this. Okay. Every time frame is looking bearish. Even here, you have bearish divergence on the 1 hour. So, and it did play out, but it's starting to, the 1 hour looks like it wants to pop. So let's take that. So I feel like the 1 hour may roll up. One more pop, right? Could bring it up to about 2,600 before it wants to correct on the daily. So, and you have to go back in and out. Or is this just a long-term hold and you just like accept it for what it is? You know, it's kind of have a decision you have to make for yourself before you get into the trade, right? Or, you know, at one point, to me, I just want to hold this. But like now I'm already up 500 and it's making me say, hey man, you know, don't play with the money. And you see the bearish divergence on many time frames. So everything that I've learned is telling me, hey dude, like, you know, you might need to chill. Even in the past few days, this thing is on fire, right? So will it correct? You know, back to the 382 at least before it wants to come back up, which will put it down $1,000, you know? So this is something that's very, very possible. YFDI Finance, not looking good in the daily. So when I give you guys, you know, I love the coin. I think it's a great project. Is today the day to buy in? I don't think so. You know, could it keep ripping and do something insert up here on the daily? Yes. You know, but is that a guarantee? No. Right? You can see we got, is that my line? Yeah, take that off. We do have resistance here, but we have support, previous support at, so we hit the resistance, we bounced off that support. Will that become an SR flip at 1669? You know, I don't know. I'm worried about the daily being so, but again, because it's so new, a lot of times the daily doesn't hold too much weight, right? Maybe the 1 hour is the weight, but we'll see. We do have a falling wedge on the RSI. We do have bearish divergence that I feel like played out right there. We got caught. We're tight in the Bollinger Band. So the 1 hour is telling me that this is going to fly. Okay. And we're about to have a cross on the MACD. So the 1 hour says, yes, we want to go up more. It's telling me we're about to go to about maybe 27. So that's my call. Temporary call. Long-term. Now here's something I don't have a lot of experiences. I entered a bullish silver play via January 15th call option. My strike is 29, so we need silver to be higher than that price by mid-January. I'll keep you all posted on how the trade plays out. Okay, cool. Let's just take a look at silver for you while we're in this mode. Thank you so much for jumping in, Mo. Really appreciate that. Let's take a good look at silver here. I'm going to do a deep dive. Again, it's almost impossible to time markets. The greatest traders have a hard time saying exactly when something is going to happen, but they can give you a range and an idea, right? What I do is I backtest. I backtest other areas so I can see what's possible, right? Just so I can see what's possible. So let's take some moves from silver. So silver went from 23 all the way up to 25, okay? That took about 5 days. So in 5 days, silver can go up 10%. Okay. If silver went up 10% from this region here, it would be about $2.40, right? So we put it at about 26.80, 26.90. So 26.90 in 5 days, right? Then if it went up another 10% in 5 days, and it doesn't do this, and then look, it has a period, then it comes up again in 5 days, and there's about a 10-day period in between. So in 15 days, we could say, let's extend this from the high, because it's going to go up and down as it goes up, and then we're going to try to take that time frame. And it took 33 days for silver to go up 10%. So what we do is we then move that here and project this idea that silver will go up another 10%. And how long? Well, we're not sure. It's giving me the bars now. I want it to give me the days. Fine, it won't give you the days if you don't go over the bars. It can't compute that. So it's an algorithm based on the price action. Anyway, so we'd have to basically take a measure tool like this and find out what the 10 days are. 14 days, right? 7%. So it tends to move about 10% in 2 weeks. Okay. Now we know we're going to get this move up. We're going to get this move up. We're at the bottom of the trend line now. Silver's going to make its move back up to 26. Now, this is what worries me now when we really break it down, right? It is November 18th. Let's look at silver and how it moved in the last few months. And this is how I do these things. I kind of give myself as much, you pump your subconscious with information, and your brain will work on this while you're dreaming, while you're walking in the woods. So what you do is you give your subconscious as much information as it can have about a subject matter, and it will do the computing for you when you're not paying attention, and it will give you an answer. At least that's how it works for me. So let's take silver's run up here. Immaculate run up. 23 back to 30, which is kind of what we want to do. So we're kind of back there, which is good. We have an actual place where we're similar. Silver was at. We'll even take the bottom here at 22.95 to give ourselves a little more pressure. And that was 12 days for silver. Sorry, that was on there. What's up, Crypto Mike? How's it going, man? And that was 12 days. Sorry about the beard comment and your ding. I was just messing with you. Sometimes I feel frisky. I don't know if you're pissed off by that stuff. 23%, right? 13 days. So that only took 2 weeks. So if we take that idea and we make a measured move next to that, because we know it disappears, we move that over here. So you're telling me it can happen in 2 weeks in a nice run up. And we're seeing the Dow about to have a move down, which should propel silver up, in my opinion. So I think that's a safe call, because we have 2 weeks to the end of December. Then we have two 2-week periods to the end of January. And then we have another 2-week period on your call because it's January 15th. So it gives us 3 weeks. January 15th. Pretty funny, Mo. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway, so the idea is that I think there's a chance silver definitely does get above, what's your number there, at 29. You know, I'd say 27.50 if I could, to play it a little closer to the bone. I would be a little less greedy, but maybe you can't make that call. I don't know how the options work exactly, but yeah, it gives us 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks, and we know what happened in a 2-week period. So we just need to slowly grind, and I think this is definitely going to happen. So LOL, no problem. Cosmic people, what's up, man? Yeah, so so we're still in the leverage trade for Bitcoin. We've been in it a long time. Let's take a look at Bitcoin just so I can judge what's going to happen with my leverage trade, and then I'm going to probably look at some news and take a jump out of here for the day. So we look at Bitcoin 17,853. Also have a video I got to pop out today about why I've died. So the Stokes tell you that it wants to roll over now. Stokes are scary, huh? Price went down. Price went down. Price went down. It tells you price is going to go down. That's what the Stokes say on the 4-hour. Has it been defining all odds though? So price should have come down here. It came up. Price should have come down here. So Stokes aren't really that great. Like here you see the Stokes crossing and the price is going up. Bearish divergence being, you know, that's why the RSI makes more sense. The RSI is overbought. It's staying up there and it's not coming down. The RSI would curl down, would tell you no. The Stokes curl down though. So Stokes can curl down on you with the price. See, I'm not really a fan of stochastics. I really am not. I have to say that, guys. You know, I feel like I perfected a way to trade without them. And if I add them, they're confusing me. Because right now I see them crossing. I may get out of a trade and that would make me lose this whole move. And that's a double top. That's what all the stochastics guys say. Always sell a double top up here. So I don't know, man. I'm a very contrarian guy. Like, I find my own ways of doing things. I don't just go with what someone else says. You know, I have to backtest everything for myself. And that's kind of scary to me to see the daily stochastics bounce while the price goes up. Pretty weird. Someone would have to explain how stochastics work, why the price goes up and the stochastics go down. I thought you were supposed to sell when the stochastics crossed. And apparently that's not always the case. So I don't know. To me, I'm just backtesting it. It's not always happening. Here, stochastic pumps, there's only a little drop, but you're going up more. So you would have missed this. You would have gotten out here, I guess, then back in. Here, the price went down, but the price was going up. So you would have sold here and missed this whole move. I'm confused. You know? For sure, contrarian to winners. Yeah. Watch it for a couple of days. You will figure it out. Okay. I mean, why is it going down while the price is going up, though? I am figuring it out, and I'm seeing that it's sending bagged signals sometimes. I guess you just use it for the 15-minute entries. Like, use it for when you need it, right? So Bitcoin now getting rejected by this bottom trend line. You can see it, right? If I delete all my ridiculous work here. I wish you could just delete some things. Like, I could just scrub this. Is there an eraser where you can just scrub an area? Get rid of everything in that area? Remove indications, remove drawings and indicators. Huh. I just gotta delete this mess that I made. Hovering here usually is bearish. It's kind of a bear flag in my opinion, like until we get back, unless, you know, we could try to make it like this. We are back in the pattern. And now you could say we're at the bottom of a bull flag and we could be forming a flag, which is actually pretty insane, right? And again, let's look at my work now. On the RSI, I said we would come down, we'd come back up, then we come down a little bit, not as far down on the 200-day moving average, then you come up, then again, and look, you just see how the price keeps getting closer and closer to the 200-day moving average. Okay. And look, it's the Stokes telling you we're going down, but now we're going up, right? So I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of the Stokes too much. I feel like they can really mess with your head a little bit. I like what I have going on without them, technically, but maybe I'm stubborn. Hey, I'll just use BS Social Swap, and you can tell me, you know, you could be my judgment. So this should pop up back to the top of the pattern at 18. Oh, was that 19? At 18,000. So it looks like we'll get back to 18,000. At that point, I may close my leverage trade, right? But we are coiling. So with strong buy pressure and higher lows with lower highs, forming that market structure that it wants to break out from. So very interesting. What are the pundits saying? Bitcoin bulls gain steam as CME futures opens interest crossed 18. Open interest for Bitcoin futures contracts in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange have exceeded a total value of $1 billion. This marks a new all-time high and underlines the rapid growing popularity of open interest in Bitcoin futures, whose trading volumes have doubled in just 6 months. Insanity, right? So one strange thing about the Bitcoin rally, the Bitcoin price is thundering towards 20,000, but compared to previous price rallies, one key metric is in reverse. Bitcoin's price is getting closer to the $20,000 mark, yet Bitcoin is being withdrawn in large amounts from major exchanges. In the last of past trends, this is particularly unusual. Bitcoin's price has been on a rapid-fire increase in recent months, breaking 18,000 today for the first time since December of 2017. For much of Bitcoin history, price increases have coincided with higher inflows of Bitcoin to major exchanges. When there's a spike in price, there's usually a spike in Bitcoin going to exchanges. Only this time around, we're seeing complete opposite. That tells me that the price is going up, right? What's up, Chris Wise? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Thank you so much for coming in. When there's a spike in price, there's usually a spike in Bitcoin going to the exchanges. The previous price peaks have coincided with Bitcoin flows into exchanges, while this ongoing rally is occurring in an unprecedented period of net withdrawals from exchanges. So previous prices coincided with people taking money. So we're going up as people are taking money out of exchanges. What you tell you is taking liquidity out. So how could that pump the price? But what it could be doing is creating scarcity, you know? So I don't know. See this guy, Mr. B, he wrote something funny where he's like, did you check the last night he was talking, he's like, did you check the price of XRP in the middle of your sleep? And he's like, I did twice. And I said, you slept? I never stopped watching. I stopped watching 2 times. Like, you watched it twice during your sleep. I actually didn't stop watching, only twice. You know, I thought it was kind of funny. And if you like my video, The Power of a Satoshi, I thought it was pretty interesting because it took me a long time to understand. It's not something that's guaranteed. If you don't learn the power of a Satoshi, it takes you a little while to figure out. So just want to say that, you know. Warning to all holders, do not get wrecked.
Guys, welcome to another episode
It's
of
so hard for me to listen to this guy. I love him so much. I think he's great. I just, the accent's hard for me.
and we do the show each and every day.
It's like you trying so hard to say the English word. I'm being so
Come
rude.
to like an atomic clock each and every day. Today we have massive news for Bitcoin because Bitcoin almost broke to 19,000. How insane is that? However, we got stopped at 18.5 exactly, and then collapsed all the way to this upwards trending line on the hourly chart that is very, very key. You know that yesterday we discussed whether Bitcoin price will break it yet again, and I told you that with greatest probability it will, 100% it will, and I gave this probability 75% of us going up and retesting this upwards trending line. So we completely smashed it yesterday. We went to 18.5, which is absolutely surreal. The growth yesterday, it is absolutely surreal. Bitcoin is entering the phase where we do have this $1,000 days, $1,000 days up, $1,000 day up is gonna happen all the time now. So please be prepared because it is a new era of the bull market. You know that in the early bull market we can hardly pump $100. Then we can maybe pump 200 and we dump 200. But now we're gonna pump 1,000, dump 1,000, pump 2,000, dump 3,000. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be insane. And of course, what you really have to pay attention to, and everyone has to pay attention to right now, is the possibility of a bigger dump, because you know that last time in the last bull market, when we actually touched all-time high, we did collapse 30% instantly, and this is very, very expected in all bull markets. And Bitcoin, you do see these collapses. We're gonna discuss exactly what's going on with Bitcoin in the immediate short term. We're gonna of course also discuss Ethereum, how Ethereum is doing. We're gonna discuss altcoins. We're gonna talk about really why this bull market is a bit different, slightly different than the last one, and exactly how we should adapt to it, because the fundamentals are very different. You know, there is no retail right now. Nobody in retail cares about Bitcoin yet. This is purely based on institutional FOMO, on wealthy individuals entering the space, on fund managers entering the space.
I don't know about that.
Entering the space. That's exactly what
I think he's talking out his face saying
retail,
that.
still not here. That's very, very key to understand.
I don't think they're here in a major way, but they're here. They're definitely here. My sister and my mother bought it. Like, so I don't think he's, you know, I can't totally agree with that. Bitcoin going back to 17.9. Fresh money flowing into Bitcoin as CME futures hit 1 billion. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, Bitcoin still not my cup of tea. What a freaking loser. Jamie Dimon, Bill, not my cup of tea. At a remote New York Times summit, JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said he's not interested in Bitcoin. The CEO reiterated at a conference on Wednesday that he's not a Bitcoin believer. He did, however, refer to a blockchain tech as a critical development in the way that money is handled. Even if Dimon himself is out on Bitcoin, JP Morgan told investors last month that the potential long-term upside for Bitcoin is considerable. So how is he saying he doesn't like it, and then they're making claims about it? This is just so strange, man. I think the guy's buying so much of it that he's just full of crap. I'm with it. Come on, man. Get a life. Whatever. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Who knows? But, like, get a life, guy. Right? One strange thing about this Bitcoin rally, we went over that. XP set to come back. Let's see what happens here. Are we getting a pullback on XRP? Yeah, he's lying. For sure he's lying. Shout out to you, Dora Almedo. You know what's up. XRP sent a stage comeback. 60% breakout in the works. What was this? When was this written? I want to see the date on this article. I can't see it. 2 hours ago. Really? The 30-cent resistance level has rejected XRP's upward price action since mid-August. The price hurdles seem to be losing strength as both technicals and fundamentals flip bullish. Slicing through the supply, while we could see cross-border remittance token rise up to 46 cents. Yeah, he's playing games. He says no, but he's buying. He has to be. XRP faces stiff resistance ahead. Right, that 1 week chart at the 30 level has proven to be quite significant for the price. 30 cents every time, man. If you're like me, you know, we watched the swell rally last year. Bitcoin, you know, oh, let's go. And then just no, right? We didn't get it. So 7897, Bitcoin approaching this level. You're going to see slight resistance here. at 7948 and slight resistance here. Want to see us break back to the bottom of this pattern and then break out of this pattern, which would be awesome. Stokes just keep working. Now we should come back. And the third time the RSI resets and the Stokes even reset, we should bounce right off of the 200-day moving average. We shouldn't get below it anymore. See, below, less below, less below, less below, up. And we should come back down and not, we should bounce off of it now at this point. So we want to see a little more of a surge. 17,921. This is a really good time, a good price for Bitcoin now. I'm now up 23% on the leverage trade. Can't believe I'm leverage trading. I think it's hilarious. But hey, when you, in a bull market, do what you got to do. And what's the trade of the day is Uni. We're just waiting on Uni to come back to 323. And then it looks like we're going to be primed to blow. So that's the plan. And we hope Bitcoin doesn't go up too high or too fast, kind of go sideways at that point. So will they play it? Uni's still sideways though. Trickling around. Let's see if the 15-minute. So the 15-minute still doesn't want to come down. You know? Interesting. Yeah, we covered YFDI. Basically what we said is that the daily looks poised to blow, okay? See it right here? The daily looks poised to blow. I mean, the 1 hour looks good to go. Tight Bollinger Bands. You're in a bull flag here. You have the MACD about to cross. You're in a falling wedge in the RSI. So everything telling me that we're about to fly on the 1 hour. But when I went to the daily, which doesn't have a lot of data though, right? So it could be kind of skewed. You know, like it came in from the beginning. Like it could be calling this MACD from a place that doesn't make sense. Will it come up and do this? This is what I drew, my gray line here. Could it come up all the way here and get to 26, 28,000? Or is it going to get rejected and bounce here at 13,300? So these are my two ideas. And soon we're going to be overbought on the daily, but not yet. And we just had a cross. So some more coming for the daily. I say we erupt back to 26, 28, and then we're going to have a bit of a pullback. 1 hour tells you it's a great time to get in at this present time. And then if we go to like an earlier time frame, like the 15-minute, let's see. I just wanted to add the Stoke on there too, because why not? Now that we're using them a lot. I'm not a fan though. I'm not a huge fan. Stokes are kind of too high on the 15 minutes. You want to wait for them to come back down to enter. That's the idea. But I just seen price go up while the Stokes went down numerous times. So I'm kind of like about to just, I'm going to look at this Uni trade. And if the Uni trade went the way it would have went without the Stokes, then I don't know if I'm going to use Stokes, honestly. But we'll see. 15-minute MACD does want to roll over. It's with the Stokes. So see, the MACD is telling me the same thing the Stokes are. I really feel like I can get the same information from the MACD. Whenever the Stokes this high, the MACD is about to turn. So isn't the Stokes just the MACD? Like, let's backtest it. Look, blue line crossing at the histogram changing is where the Stoke crosses. Blue line crossing where the histogram changing, where the Stoke crosses. Blue line crossing where the histogram, where the Stoke. Stoke even does double tops right at the same place. It's basically a repossessed MACD, man. Let's be honest. Like, what is it going to show me that I can't get out of, you know? I guess you'll see a double bottom pattern, but I get those here, you know, on this blue line. It's really just this MACD line kind of extrapolated. I really think I can get the same information out of the RSI and the MACD. I guess the RSI, Stoke is like a MACD RSI mix. Just not a huge fan, man. Anyway, so far so good though. It is starting to roll over. So I'll wait. I'll be patient and we'll see. I just don't want to see this go up as this goes down. All right. Which is like right here. Right here. I know the price went up and down together. Double top down. I'll play it. I'm going to trust BS Social Swap. He's been really good. So yeah, so that's YFDI. We did that for you. Went over everything. Went over the trade. Went over some news. Guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Yo, MSNV. MSNVF, right? Mission Ready Solutions. OTC Penny Market. My favorite place not to trade. 11 cents. Mission Ready Solutions, OTC. Pretty new coin, new asset on the market. That's why I hate trading anything that's not a coin. I don't like the choppiness and the patterns. Yeah, how to lose money in 3 easy letters. OTC for sure. Yeah, I don't freaking touch the OTC market, bro. I don't touch it with a freaking 10-foot pole. You know, I'd rather just trade gold and silver, man. It's so much easier and so much more of like my TA works out way better. Don't be rude, though. Don't be rude, man. I feel... Not saying you can't make money on it, though. So the daily says you're about to rip. Stochastics look all right. MACD wants to turn. This is looking really good on the daily. 4 hour also is about to turn. You were at the bottom of the pattern. Let's look at the 5 minute and see if we have our divergence that we always want to see. And we kind of do, because this is going down. Like this is going down. And this is going up. So there is your divergence. That would be your bottom. Follow the bottom of the pattern slightly. 11 cents even. And what's the volume on this? Like 12,000. You don't want to touch this, man. Be careful. You know why you don't want to touch this, in my opinion, is because I'll explain. You need volume, right? We always talk about volume. Look at the volume. It says you're getting 12,000 volume. Has a market cap of 20 million. It's all right, but 12,000 volume? That makes me think that, like, I might not be able to get out of the trade. Like, I mean, it's only 12,000, 13,000 volume? I don't know. So, Bitcoin on the way to 18K yet again. We keep this leverage trade open. Now we're back up 25% in the leverage trade. Can you please go over your 5 steps? Just sign up for a tutoring session, man. Hook me up. And I'll go through everything for you extremely well. I have to go. My wife's pissed. She's like, you've been on for damn near 3.5 hours now. 5 steps. All right, guys. Pull my leg. Here's the 5 steps. Yeah, I'd be careful. I don't like the volume. I stay away from the OTC market. It's just not my thing. So the thing is, that's why I'm covering it right now. Someone might just jump into my channel, watch this for a second, and think I trade OTC. You know? So I got to be careful, too, with the content that I provide. If it's not, aligned with my philosophy, I'm really not into the OTC market. I'm sorry. I do have to have some, levels in my channel. That just my personal preferences, too. Step 1, number 1, listen to your wife. Step 1, right? Yeah, it's step 1, right? Yeah. Anyway, you look for a bullish pattern. That's the first thing you look for. Falling wedge. You should study all your bullish patterns. I'm not going to sit here and tell you them all right now. You should know them. Double bottoms, inverted head and shoulders, right? Step 2, listen to your wife. Step 3, listen to your wife. Step 2 is to check the MACD. Make sure that it's in a place it's in the pink. I say in the pink with the blue line curving. That's where I start looking at a chart. I want to buy at the bottom of the trend line every time. If I miss the bottom of the trend line, to me, the move is done. I have to wait for a breakout or to come back to the bottom of the trend line. The meaning is because then my stop loss is exposed. I like to always have a less exposed stop loss, and I like to do that every time. I like to play from positions of strength, so I don't do that. Yeah, right. So step 1 is the pattern. Step 2 is the MACD is in a good place. Step 3 is in the RSI oversold. You know, or is it overbought? We're never buying up here. We're always buying down here. Is it also in a pattern that makes sense? And then step 4 is, how are the moving averages? Are they moving for you? Are they doing right? Is the 200 just crossing the 50 like this, which is bullish? Are we going to see the 50 cross the 100 on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, which we just saw right here? The 50 did cross the 200 right there. That told you Stellar was on its way. That's a golden cross. That's an indication that you could see this big pump. Stellar did make a move, came back down. I don't know why we picked Stellar. It's just the one we're looking at right now. Came back down on the 4 hour. Looks like Stellar could go sideways a little more to the 50-day moving average before it starts to move up. I see that happen a lot. Stochastics are looking good, so stay on Stellar. Stellar looks like it may be time to enter soon. And then the last thing I look for is divergences. Is there a divergence? Is there a place I can get in? So you got to buy the bottom of the pattern. You got to look for a bullish pattern. You got to look for the MACD in your favor. You got to look for the RSI in your favor. You got to make sure there's moving averages moving for you, and you got to make sure that there's divergences that are going to play in your favor. And there you go. That is the step list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, if you came to my channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. 22 likes, the most we've ever hit. Ever. Amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. If you came to my channel, you're already doing the right thing. And remember, let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Crypto is life. There's nothing else.